everybody? Quick announcement before we start this episode. I know a lot of you guys have been asking about Brilliant Idiots and what's been going on. Okay? I'm going to say this. I'm sure you're all aware of recent things that have been happening, and you just got to trust us. Trust your boys. Okay? We are handling it in the way we think is most appropriate. Have faith. Okay? We are righting the ship, and then we are going to get back to sailing. So just have faith, and everything will happen and when it's supposed to happen. Now, because I can't give you a Thursday without some glorious content, we're going to have another episode of Flagrant 2. Yeah. No easy buckets. Analysis by assholes. Water cooler commentary for your sports needs. I know a lot of you guys have been messaging us because, you know, you've been listening to the last few Flagrant 2s, and thank you guys so much for hopping on the wave. The wave is very, 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 very strong, and we are more than willing to take on more listeners. So continue to do that. Continue that trend. I am here with Kaz, of course, and Akaash is no longer not no longer with us. He's just we got rid of Akaash, yo.
What the fuck happened to Akaash?
Yeah, until you get a pedicure,
Jesus
you're not
Christ.
allowed to come on the podcast anymore with your crazy looking feet.
Listen,
Speaking of feet,
No, I know.
Oh,
We are
speaking
here
of feet,
with Weezy. Okay, Weezy from the Whoreible
star of
Decisions
Horrible,
podcast.
the co-star of the
Ooh,
We're not doing that. No,
ooh.
that's not. Shut
Now,
up.
here's the
Yeah.
thing. Here's the thing. As
The
much as I
co-star of
want to
the
get
Whoreible
into the
Decisions.
nuance of Whoreible Decisions podcast, a lot of the people that listen
Love
to this
that
right
show.
now might have never heard of it. So
Love
we'll
that
get
show.
into there in a little bit. Great show. Very fun show. You guys should go listen to it. But right now we're talking on Flagrant 2. And when we do the episode, extra episode of Flagrant 2 TOO, as some people have referred to it. It's you see how I do it? You see how I do
That's
it?
your Jewish mind at work. Always marketing.
Hey!
Always at work.
Not Jewish, but would love to be. So basically, when we do this extra episode, it's not really heavy on the sports, guys. It's heavy on the topics of this week. It's heavy on our lives. I've had an interesting last few days.
Okay. Just care to speak on that.
I have. I saw Weezy, Kaz.
Yes.
I saw two fairly attractive homeless women today.
For how? I've never seen that in my life.
I've seen that.
You've seen it?
I've seen it.
Attractive
definitely
homeless.
seen a homeless
Yeah.
guy I wanted to fuck. Maybe you from Brooklyn? Don't know.
No. I didn't. This is very important. Homeless women.
Yeah.
You're making a choice when you're an attractive homeless woman. Okay? You are making a choice.
Because we've got pussy to sell?
A pussy worth $1,000. Not one time. Every girl's sitting on $1,000. Now, I admire the pride. On some level, they're making a decision not to prostitute and thug out that homeless shit and maybe work it out.
But what are you doing if you're a homeless woman, though? Like, the homeless
Hold on.
attractive
As a
woman.
feminist,
Yeah.
I mean, let me just say this. As
Yeah.
a woman that gets dick and pussy,
Yeah.
I fucked some pussy that wasn't $1,000 worth.
I completely understand. I'm not saying you're going to get $1,000 to have sex, but you could put $1,000 together. You know what I mean? Throughout the month. You know what I mean?
Talk
Like,
to
it
me.
might take a few fucks to get there.
Yeah.
But, like, and these girls were relatively attractive women. I'm looking at them on the ground. They got the sign and everything,
Yeah.
like that good handwriting. Like, they didn't come from bad family.
Yeah.
Like, these girls are educated.
good
Do you know what I mean? Handwriting was on point. Handwriting was on point.
They have a heart at the eye?
Not even hard eyes, but, like, everything was level, not a lot of shake. These girls had made a decision they're not going to prostitute. Instead, they're going to go homeless. And I'm curious. I'm like, would I do that if I had the ability? I think if I had the ability to sell pussy, if I could be a hoe or homeless, I'd probably choose hoe for me.
So I think about this all the time.
What
every
would you
time I
do?
get spicy at work. Anytime I start talking shit to a client, I'm like, hold on. Are you ready to fuck for this?
What do you mean?
I think about how much
You
my
gotta
rent
give
costs.
some context.
And I
because a lot of
start
people-
flashing back. I think about 401k. I think about savings, unemployment. When would I start having to fuck for it? It's literally
Well, here's
a
the
fear.
thing. Do you consider yourself a sexually explorative person? A horrible decision. Do you consider yourself a whore?
Is this a rhetorical question?
I'm being dead ass.
Because this is your first time on the show. You gotta.
I will say this. I use the word whore to be ironic and just say that we call anybody a whore, right? But no, I mean, do I have sex for money? No.
Of course, you don't have sex for money. I'm saying you have sex for what's the least amount?
Like right now, today?
Like you have a price?
See, I make too much money today, but if you would have asked me this a few years ago, maybe like $750.
$750? So $150?
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying.
My rent is worth too much. Back when my rent was like $500, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fuck for rent and lights.
And that must go through your mind. That's why, on some level, let's say you're already promiscuous. You're out there. You're having a decent amount of sex, right? You're having sex with people because they said that your outfit looked nice. Right? It's not like you have a meaningful connection. Like, don't get me wrong. We've all had sex with people, and it wasn't to be a husband or be a wife. Yeah. It was we had a fun little interaction at the club.
You're fucking because of chemistry.
Let's keep it very real. There are girls that are fucking the promoter at the club so that they can drink a couple, pineapple and vodka. Right? Okay. That's not electricity.
So here's the thing about your story.
That's not electricity. That's not Con Ed.
Here's the thing
that's cognac.
Here's the thing about your story, though. Like, how do you know? I refuse to believe that didn't cross their mind already, or they haven't done it already.
Holy shit, Kaz! Are you telling me these girls are both hoes and homeless?
Here's the thing.
You think they're working double?
Sex work is a very risky thing to do. We're talking from the level of us.
More risky than homeless?
Right? If I really wanted to fuck for money, what's the first thing I could do? Hypothetically.
But here's the thing.
You got Instagram. We have other avenues. A homeless chick fucking for money? Just imagine your access of dudes.
No.
You're putting
back it up. Back it up.
Okay.
You're not born homeless.
Oh,
that's something that happens. I'm just saying she made a decision.
I mean, some people are born homeless.
You know what I mean? Thank you, Kaz.
I'm sorry.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
Obviously,
sorry for giving you a story nuance.
Thank you very much. We're talking about Shorty that already had clothes. We're not talking about the fucking how to be Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in India? What's that movie called? Slumdog. We're not talking about Slumdog. We're talking about American. Shorty had clothes. Air Force Ones, a little tattered.
She did not.
Air Force Ones, a little tattered. This was like her first week homeless.
Did you know that not every person asking for money on the street is homeless?
Stop playing. What you mean?
Think about it.
Possible, man.
Just saying.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that ask for money on the street that are just currently out of work or really need extra help. Or, like, if you don't have a job, like...
Or maybe she's just somebody's very
they're
dramatic
probably not homeless. If they look like that...
like, that's...
dramatic?
She's somebody's very... dramatic girlfriend. Like, how do you not know...
you're not gonna buy me shit?
How do you not know that woman got into a fight with her man that day?
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't give a fuck where you go. And it's like, you know what? I'm gonna go on the street and I don't care what happens to me, yada, yada, yada. And her man was like, okay, go ahead. She might have been homeless for like 8 hours. You don't know.
Honestly, I tried to do that with my parents.
Of course, we all do.
My parents are talking spicy to me.
We all do the fucking, I'm fucking running away from home.
They were talking real spicy, talking about going to your room. No Nintendo.
That's spicy?
They said this.
That's spicy?
They said.
See, I feel like a white girl.
They said,
I was about to say,
this is white spicy, bro. This is not some like John's hot sauce. This is Tabasco. The green one. This is the green Tabasco.
Have you ever gave a good old like "fuck you, mom"? Like, have you?
Come on, yo. You don't curse at your parents.
Yeah,
okay.
Parents are immigrants.
But also,
thank you. I got my mom's from Scotland. Yeah. She'll fight. My mom square up.
He's not American.
My mom punched me in the face once.
Yeah, he's not American.
Yo, I laughed at my mom. She was disciplining me. She was like, don't talk to your brother like that. I was like, ha ha. Boop! She just stuck me right in my jaw. I was like, all right, dancing ass bitch.
So that's where you get this shit from.
Yeah. Oh no, my mom don't play.
There's no way that's spicy to my parents.
Nah. I can't
even infer that my mom is talking spicy to me. Like if I even give her a look, like if I didn't respond the right way, when she gave me some shit.
You ever go to your white friend's house and get jealous of how they can act?
Oh my god, all the fucking time.
Bruh.
I grew up in Staten Island, so like I had nothing but white friends.
But come on, yo, Italians don't talk that crazy to their parents.
Oh, I seen some shit.
Really?
Some shit, yeah.
Oh,
of course they got dealt with accordingly, but we're young and stupid.
See, I would come home and be like, Mom, do you know what Kelly does?
Isn't your mom white?
No, my mom's black.
Oh, your mom's
My
black?
dad's from Israel.
Your dad's Jewish?
So my mom is black. My mom used to always, my mom would hit me with anything that was just, in the way.
Yeah.
Phone cords. Whatever.
Yeah.
My own fucking shoes. But my father would just always to threaten to send me to the Israeli army.
Right.
And that I didn't know about until I did some Googling once that came out on dial-up, which is like where they sent girls at 16.
Yeah.
So like once they found out what was fucking, that was the threat. It was like constantly like, you are going to the army. And I was like, no, I'll keep this pussy.
Wasn't that one of our first episodes?
One of our first episodes was I'll send you back to Africa.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah. I think it was a Brilliant Idiots episode.
We did it. We were filling in for, I had you and Akaash filling in for Idiots. Yeah. And you were telling me stories.
That's what my mom used to threaten me all the time with. She'd be like, yo, I'll send you back to Nigeria. I'll send you to fucking go sell shit on your head and fucking all that shit. Because that's what
real
that
talk.
Shit happened.
Real talk.
I had cousins who actually were sent back to Nigeria.
I want to warn all black people right now. When you do that 23andMe and at Ancestry.com, you can now find out where your parents can send you back. Yeah. So I suggest you wait until you're 18 and fully employed before you go find out where you're from. Because you do that shit at 14, your mom's like, all right, you going back to the Congo. You gonna figure it out. You gonna figure that shit out.
Actually, Alex inspired me to do mine. Yeah. I'm waiting for my results. And my father then told me, so my father is a lot older. Yeah. And before he was born, Israel wasn't even a country yet. He was born in Syria. He's like, so technically you all African.
Syrian Jew.
So I'm just really hoping to be like a part of Zamunda so I could dip and have money so I never have to fuck for
it.
Syrian Jews,
so disappointed.
Shrewd. Syrian Jews.
You don't have a lot of African
shrewd businessmen.
Traits on you.
I know.
I mean, I probably. But
my mom is just like straight black girl from Queens. You know.
Your dad is
maybe
from Syria.
Cheekbones
he was born there, but I mean, he went to Israel.
But he's a Syrian.
He was one of the first families to flee
Jew.
Damascus.
He's a Syrian Jew.
Yeah.
Correct. Syrian Jews, shrewd businessmen. They're like, you know how like people say that Jews are kind of separatists. They kind of stick together.
Yeah.
Syrian Jews are the Jews of the Jews.
Are they?
So like they don't even fuck with outside of Syrian Jews.
Oh, that's like bougie blacks.
They are very tight-knit. Very tight-knit.
See,
amazing real estate moguls. I mean, Steve Jobs, Syrian Jew. I mean, he was adopted, but that's what it is. Real estate moguls all over the world. Fascinating people, man.
That might say something
very
about family,
interesting people, for real.
That's like the bougie blacks, bro. Like,
why, they don't fuck with it?
Where the bougie blacks from?
Gosh.
Nigeria.
No, not even.
Not even. You're
talking about the American blacks.
Like the American, like, I'm going to keep it a stack, right? So last year, I went to NABJ, right? That's the National Association of Black Journalists, right?
Right.
It's like it's basically like a bougie black folks.
It's like Curl Fest for writers.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
But like, they'll have like fucking ESPN people there. What? No, that's what it's
Curl Fest for writers, yo.
It's a loose. It's a very loose description, but he pretty much nailed it.
I hit that shit. Yeah. You don't go to Curl Fest?
Do I go to Curl
Yeah.
Fest?
I was one of the hosts this year.
I am.
Just gonna let this man lie to you.
I'm an unacceptable like Curl Fest attendee. You know what I'm saying? Because I be flat ironing and shit, and then like the natural rooted black.
You be kind of flat ironing. You're
this is sweat, Andrew. Don't come for me.
I'm just saying.
This is the last minute.
Your iron not on the hottest. You know what I mean? Yo, you be lukewarm in that shit.
I do be lukewarm.
All right, but Kaz, you're at NABJ,
yeah,
right?
So I went to NABJ last year, right? And this is when I was at BR, and there's like black folks, and then there's like the hoity-toity, turn your nose up, very pinky in the air type of like.
There's waspy
you know
black
what it is?
folks.
It's like a lot of, and I ain't got no, there's nothing against them or whatever, but like I just realized I didn't like that crowd. Like a lot of them fucking like go to like their frats or sororities. They went to HBCU. So if you didn't go to Howard or you didn't go to Hampton,
like, what kind of frats?
If you
like Q's?
Yeah, not Q's, but what I don't even know what they call. I honestly think frats are corny. And it was never my type of thing, so I don't really do.
Y'all better comfort them.
But wait, what school did you go to though?
I went to SUNY Purchase.
That's the thing. I think I think in some schools, because like my school was like yours in a way where it wasn't a huge part of the culture. Yeah. But I think some schools it is the social scene, so you're more apt to be involved.
It is, and it's very weird
too.
And
it makes too. Think about like DC, Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? They have all of the Kappas, I mean, they got it there. The AKAs are like the bad bitches. Of the town.
Yeah, they got deltas and shit, and like, and that's cool. But like, that was the first
deltas
time.
Deltas are tri-delt.
What?
Tri-delt was that?
No, I don't know. Deltas are.
I just know that from the Kanye song. Like,
the black. They're not the. It's a black girl sorority.
Yeah, it's a black girl sorority.
There's a white girl sorority that's tri-delt, and those girls are fat. That's what they're known for.
But all right.
Nah.
Dead ass.
I don't even know if you bullshit.
I'm being dead serious.
Because they look like
I don't know.
Like
What? Yeah, that's their shit.
I know AKAs are like pink and green.
Y'all
or
bitches
some
can come for
shit.
me. I don't care. All right, y'all had the white girl on the pod. It's time for the black ones. I'm here for the all the black girls.
Go on.
But nah, man, like, and I didn't go this year only because, you know, I was doing other shit. But at the same time, like, I wouldn't want to go. And it's like, it's a weird thing where, you know, your own people are kind of like, they don't turn their nose up against you.
They're like Kanyeing you out.
But not even Kanyeing you out, but like, if you're not their type of black folks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's
an elitist
See, I have
it's
a different
elitist.
Atlanta
It's
experience.
elitist.
I'm
That's
there
what
for
it
the
felt like.
gays and the drug dealers.
He's not judging Atlanta. What he's judging is a specific cross section of people who are at this conference.
Right. And that's fine. Like, and like I said, like, it's cool and all, but like, I just don't like the elitism of it. Like, everything is very fucking highbrow. Like, oh, we turned. Yeah. Like that type of shit.
Yeah.
And like, it just wasn't for me, man. Like, and they'll make you. You'll feel real fucking out of place, like, real fast. Like,
really?
So that's all I was trying to say. I say all that to say, like, you know, just because we all black, like, with the fucking Syrian Jews or whatever.
Yeah.
Same thing for black folks, man. Like, they'll have their clique of people that are just, you know, he's not.
Maybe that's just something about humans in general.
You went to SUNY Purchase?
I don't know. Latinos are like that too. Sometimes you have the like.
Absolutely.
I'm too, you know.
Yeah, that's like.
Well, we just kind of organize ourselves, like,
you're not
right?
a Delta. You're not a Kappa.
Right.
I'm like, bro.
But think about it. Like, if you join a group, right, you get to leech off the social equity of the group. So where you yourself might not be that cool, successful, or good-looking, but if you're associated with cool, successful, good-looking fraternity, all of a sudden you get some of that juice. You get some of that swag, right?
And that's why
people join groups.
That's what any group. That's like
absolutely.
If you play
it's hard to be an
football,
individual, bro.
It
it's
really
tough.
is. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't give them shit for that, like, at all. Like, I totally understand that because I played basketball. I understand. Like, there's a lot more to just playing the sport. Like,
perfect analogy is basketball, right?
Yeah.
I go to NBA Summer League. Mm-hmm. The dudes that you know are probably not gonna make the team. They're walking around the hotels in a jersey.
Yeah.
Then like you just played and it's like, oh yeah, I'm still in the jersey. Yeah. It's because they want people, not even prideful. It's like,
they want people to know.
I want you to know that I'm associated with this while I can be.
Yeah.
LeBron ain't wearing his Lakers jersey to the grocery store. You know what I mean? Because he could be LeBron without a team and he's LeBron. Mm-hmm. You know, so, and it's a tough thing when I almost feel I do think there's more resilience in being an individual, and sometimes you're forced to be that. Like, you're mixed, right? So you actually were forced to either pick a side and double down, or forced to be your unique self, even if you're not fully accepted by any group.
I'll be honest with you. I dated a black dude straight out of college that let me know, like, no, bitch, you black. And after that, I identify as a black woman. I mean, I would have been a house slave, but it still would have counted. And I feel like not
counted.
It would. I mean, it would have been.
Yeah. Did you just say "and one" with slavery?
Not that, but I don't want to be dismissive just because I'm light skinned.
Yeah, no, and you shouldn't be.
That's what saying that I'm mixed does.
Yeah.
You know, just by saying that I'm mixed, it's like, okay, bitch. Like, it's just sometimes it can come across as. I can't find the word, but like almost like I'm better than you. Like, no, I'm mixed first, or I'm this, I'm that. Like, even when someone asks me what I am, I say black first. If they keep going, then I'll tell them I'm Israeli. I don't want them to think that I have to put that other part out there to make it sound like I'm too good just to be black. I know that light-skinned girls or mixed girls might lean on that, and I don't want to do that. It's very dismissive.
Well, it's very. It's you're in a much safer time to do that now, though, because a lot of women I grew up with, a lot of mixed girls, leaned on that shit, bro. Like,
really?
Like,
it is a safer time, and I'm.
What do you mean they leaned on?
They leaned on that shit. Like, you ask any girl ever growing up, they'd be like, "Oh, what are you? Oh, I'm half Indian, half Chinese, half Korean, half this."
Oh, black's the last one.
And I'm like,
oh, absolutely.
That's
and
funny.
It's like, yo, it's like you like, and it's cool. Like, they love to, you know, that's your culture. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, you're a black person.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit trumps a lot of it. Like, you could be 12% fucking Hindu or Irish, whatever the fuck it is, but like, you got a black daddy, you black. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not whack, but it's like, now is a good time for people to.
It is weird though.
No, it's not weird, but it's like, it's now. I don't want to say black is like in style, but it's like, it kind of is. You know what I mean? Like,
don't say style. There's a pride movement.
First of all,
not a pride movement,
black people
but
always
like,
been so fucking cool. Who hasn't been taking shit for us the last?
No, of course, but
Sure.
at the same time, it's equitable
but
now.
There's an
like you
open
look
pride.
at fucking LeBron put up a post today, and he was
Sure.
like, "Man, there's nothing more beautiful than colored women," and he had a whole fucking slideshow of
White
Beyonce
tears.
on the cover, and
Right.
and Lupita and Tiffany Haddish and all these people, and it's like I've never in my life have seen that many black women on this many mainstream
September
quote
issues,
unquote.
particularly like
September. That's fall fashion.
Rihanna,
that's a big
British Vogue
deal. Yeah, so it's like it's black people always been cool to certain folks, but like now white folks understand that shit is equitable.
You know, someone told me
real
when they
quick
heard about
to
Kid
this.
Fury.
Real quick to this. This idea of like embracing black is beautiful. This is you're saying this is a newer thing where people are openly proud of it?
As far as being able to capitalize off it monetarily, yeah. I
Gotcha.
think so. I mean, like, you look at fucking Black Panther, you look at fucking, what's wrong?
I don't know if I'll say
And
that it's like
kinda,
a new
No, it's
Say
not,
what you
I'm
just
not
said
saying
again?
I'm not saying it's a new thing, but I'm saying that, like, we're at a point where you're almost doing yourself a disservice if you're not diverse.
It's very hard for
in the
white
company.
people not to hear black voices anymore. That is
Yeah.
what is happening.
Yeah.
Okay, you have
Let me tell you.
Nah, it's easy to not hear black voices.
I mean,
In
we're gonna be in your
certain
face.
aspects.
They're gonna shut down your streets. They're gonna do something to make
Yeah.
sure you hear them, and that's the thing that black people are trying to gain with their leverage. That is great.
Yeah.
It is very easy to be in your face and make it very hard for you to be racist.
Yeah, certain
And so
aspects, especially in entertainment.
You almost have to.
Do you have to be oppressed to have racial pride? To be allowed to have racial pride?
No.
Well, I
Do
mean,
you have to be
a
oppressed?
white,
You have to be a
a
smaller
white
and
George,
marginalized
George
group.
Clooney couldn't come out and say, "There ain't nothing more beautiful than a white woman, man. I love
in
white
that
women,"
way.
and it would be looked at as racist. But if an oppressed group comes out, if an Asian guy comes out and be like, "I just love Asian women. I think Asian women are the most beautiful. I love black women. I think black women are the most beautiful. I love Arabic women. I think Arabic women are the most." But I think in order to qualify that statement, you have to have perceived oppression. And because of that, in a weird way, I know this sounds wild, but because of that, in a weird way, it's almost as if that is not the norm.
Nah.
I think just small and marginalized. Like, black people can celebrate themselves because we're the only ones who will celebrate us.
Yeah.
You know, so Asians, they're the smaller
Should anyone
group.
have to celebrate
here's
you
the thing,
besides you?
in America, in this country,
I mean, we should
when
be
it comes
celebrating
to-
other cultures.
Who
when
else do you celebrate?
Who else do I celebrate?
Yeah.
To all females, but Latinas.
How you celebrate Latinos?
Any kind of like Pride Day that's going on for Hispanics, whether it be putting my money into their businesses or Latino artists or trying to have them on my podcast. Like, I try. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, black people first, but I do try because people of color in general, I know, are being forgotten about.
I mean,
so
you gotta
I try.
understand, especially in the entertainment business, the standard of beauty and fucking excellence and greatness for so long, especially in pop culture,
White European?
has been white Europeans.
Does that have to do with 100% racism, or is there some capitalism
It's
involved
not even so
in
much
that?
racism.
Let me
I don't
explain the
think
point.
racism-
No, I see what you're trying to say.
What I'm trying to explain for the people listening is, like, you know, they make Band-Aids, for example, that are probably more similar to my skin color than your skin color. But is that because the Band-Aid company Johnson & Johnson is like, I hate black people, or are they like, I want to sell a lot of Band-Aids, and there's 70% of the country has Andrew's skin and 12% has Kaz's skin, so we're probably in a means to create profit.
Yeah. No,
do that color, right?
Nobody's absolutely.
There's a reason why there's no size 16 shoes.
No, I totally understand what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
I totally understand what you're saying.
I mean,
but
at
the thing is with that is when it comes to that type of shit, like perfect example is the flesh colored Band-Aids or whatever, right? Yeah, we understand why you make that. You know what I mean? We understand that, like, you know, we're in America and we're called minorities for a reason because we're only a certain percentage of the population that is.
I think
definitely
black people
not the
are what,
majority.
13.6?
Something like that. I don't know.
Sure, around there.
32% is
I thought
Hispanics?
12%, yeah.
Maybe, but we say all
Hispanics
that
be
to
growing. They let anybody in. That's like fucking BJ's.
We say all that to say, like,
Do you know what I mean? Like,
those-
it's like you speak a little Spanish, you're in.
Yeah.
You know, Puerto Ricans, you're Spanish or black.
My guess
You know what I
is
mean?
because there's so much, it's like so much easier for them to migrate. There's a lot more like Hispanic countries around. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been one. Okay, so there's one migration of black folks, right?
Yeah.
A forced one. And then there's been many migrations of white folks, right? You have Eastern European migration. You have Western European migration. They've continued to migrate. And then Latinos have continued to migrate. And that's why you see these numbers rising, but black folks not, because the migration of black people stopped in, I think, what was it? When did they stop? I know it was abolished 1863, but even before that, they said, we're not bringing any more in.
Right.
So that's why you have a smaller number. You just don't have more adding. I mean, usually we'll blow up a country and then be like, all right, some of you come here. That's usually that's the next migration. Right?
No, I mean,
you know, my grandma said
what
to
I
me
was
on the
trying
phone
what I was trying to
something
say with
so
the
racist. She said to me, "You know who the new niggas is?" I said, "Who?" And she was like, "All the Puerto Ricans." I'm like, "Grandma, Spanish people are not Hispanic, excuse me, are not Puerto Ricans." Yes, it is. My grandma's 90 years old. She swears to God that any Latino person is Puerto Rican.
We all did.
It's like, and she told me that she feels bad.
Hold on, you can't call
I just discovered
Spanish
Dominicans
people
in like
Spanish?
high school.
No, I knew Dominicans because they were shinier.
I didn't.
Well, Spanish people.
Like, Puerto Ricans are a little bit less shiny. Do you know what I mean? Like, Puerto Ricans will just do either the bottom or the top shiny.
They need more lotion.
Wait a minute, you're Puerto Rican?
No, Dominicans.
Like, for example,
No,
Alex.
Dominicans are more shiny because they have more melanin. They sell the same.
more
Not their skin. I'm talking about the bedazzles.
Oh,
Like, a Dominican got bedazzled. They got the True Religion jeans, and they got a bedazzle
they
like
don't have
Daffy
the
Duck.
Jordache, is
Yeah,
what you're saying.
they double up. It's all bedazzled. They shining. They're like, yo, we here. We made it. You know what I mean? They want everyone to know they made it to America. They want the light to reflect back to DR.
You know where they
want
get
the
that from?
family
Rich
to
Southern
feel
white
it.
women with them. Don't they always have the shiniest shit on?
Who?
The hats, like older white women that are like from Texas and shit.
Yeah.
They always have on the glitter and all that. Where does that come from?
Cuz, life alert. These bitches are about to die. Do you know what I mean? They're gambling at the casino, and
Life alert.
they're gambling at the casino.
What do
They're
you mean, like,
90
look
years
at me,
old.
my stroke's coming?
Boom. You listen, you see that hat fall from a mile away. Okay? The hat falls. You're not gonna step over that hat. It's gonna be on the ground. 100%. This is how white women stay alive. They wear that fucking hat. They got that little bracelet with the scorpion on it.
Oh my God.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
The diabetes one? Listen, we keep acting. How do white people stay alive? Because we tell you what we're dying from. Constantly, right? Like, if a white person got diabetes, there's a tattoo from, like, his fucking forehead to his chin. That's like, yo, I got diabetes, so if I'm sleeping, I'm not. You know what I mean? We know how to operate in these
Another
streets.
thing that helps them too, the Botox gets you so shiny, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's crazy because it's like you never really see a good Botox procedure, but
Yo.
they just keep going.
You want to know some
why
wild
do
shit?
they keep doing
Let me
it?
tell you some wild
like
shit. This is what white people are the best at. This is how good white people are at marketing. You ready?
yeah.
We convince the whole world that white skin is the best. You got Asians don't even go outside without an umbrella.
Yeah.
They're afraid of the sun. Do you know what I mean? You got Sammy Sosa bleaching his whole fucking skin.
All right, that's
to
one
turn-
fucking guy.
Fam, we acting like skin bleaching ain't real, son?
I mean, it's
No,
real.
no,
Vibes
hold on.
Cartel.
Andrew's right because
Let
this
me-
is where colorism comes from.
Let me finish
Okay.
my point.
Thinking that light skin
Colorism
is
is there.
elitist.
Indians, you go to Bollywood, you ain't seen no Indian is selling the fruit on the street. You know what I mean? You seen a light skin ass Indian. We convinced the whole world that white skin was better when it's clearly the worst skin.
Yep.
Oh, by far.
It's undeniably
you never
the
stay
worst
white, yeah.
skin,
It's
right?
weird.
Yeah.
We age like fucking bread. We can't go outside in the sun. We get cancer. We get all these fucking things. What a monumental mind fuck. How has nobody just been like, yo, guys, you're just believing what people told you. Clearly, if you had to invest in a product that was skin, right? We don't got the Toyota Corolla.
You basically saying we going with Kaz.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
Kaz ready.
Yeah.
We don't know if you're like 18
No, I mean, when
or
I was,
38.
when
we
I was
can't
younger,
tell.
it was just like, listen, like, the reason why, like, I was super dark. I'm still super dark. Like, when I was younger, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you wanted to be like, you know, you grew up around white people, and, you know, you don't really understand why people look at you differently. It's like, oh, you know, like, why can't I go tan? It's like, you don't need a tan.
Bro,
Like,
you guys
you're
have the
good.
G-shock of
And it's
skin.
like-
Nothing fucks your skin up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I got a Casio
Doesn't
gold
go.
watch.
I'm wearing the G-Shock
got the mark.
now, bro.
See how ready that shit never broke. Yo,
And I never wear
that
the
shit
G-Shock.
never gonna break, bro.
It is
Never
weird
gonna
how,
break.
like,
It's a
sunscreen,
hustle.
but you don't.
Yeah, they don't really.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
It's a
I mean,
hustle.
look, I'm not as dark as Kaz, but I don't need sunscreen. It's crazy.
nah,
Like,
you're good.
One
Just
time,
red don't happen.
I didn't
It's
wear
weird.
sunscreen when I went to the Canary Islands. Okay, this is Canary Islands.
Yeah.
That's off the south of space. It's Africa.
Yeah.
I went out there for 5 hours.
I don't know why I'm laughing.
Yo, I was out in the sun the African sun, for 5 hours. I'm not gonna lie to you. Do you know when the water gets poured on Gizmo in the Gremlins movie? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And the bubbles on his back?
Yeah.
Oh.
My entire back
Look like a cupping session?
looked like a cupping session. Son, it was insane. It was insane. I took off my shirt. There were balls of pus on my back from 5 hours in the fucking sun. Not built for it.
No.
But here's the fucked up shit. You ready? You would think maybe we're not built for the sun, but we're built for the cold.
Nah,
No, our skin doesn't even do good in the cold. It's not like you throw us in the cold and we could be warm.
Yeah.
No, we freeze to death. Yeah. We're the motherfuckers in the mountain dead.
Did you know that your skin
but that's
is low-key?
extreme cold. Y'all run winter because you are the only motherfuckers who are out here in shorts and t-shirts in the wintertime.
No.
Like, y'all have
they
you
can
don't
do
feel
that,
shit.
but their skin gets fucked up.
It's not necessarily the skin, but
Yeah.
well, I heard this Bayesian dude I know tell me he was wondering why when he went to
Bayesian?
Barbados.
That's a black gay? What's Bayesian?
Barbados.
Rihanna's Bayesian.
Yo, I heard
on,
that and I
bruh.
thought she meant black and Asian.
I'm
That's
glad
Malaysian.
somebody verified.
And that's not even a real thing. That's like a mashup
Barbados.
thing.
They go
word.
Barbados.
Bayesian.
They don't go Barbadian.
Yeah, they're not Barbadian. They're Bayesian.
Maybe because it sounds like barbaric. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know, dude.
know.
Well, I ain't
That's
make
the
this up.
word.
But
I guess
he
you can
said
do whatever you
in
want.
Barbados, he noticed he was glowing. His
They
skin
don't call you
was like.
Islandish. You're Irish.
No, Scottish. Scottish.
Wait,
Scottish.
No, I'm just saying. What's up?
That's a
Yeah.
good point. But he
Yeah.
said his skin was.
But what if I
glowing
was
the
like, no, I'm
best.
Scasian?
Cajun?
Wrong.
Why would I be wrong? It's the same thing. I'm Scasian. I'm Scotian. Yo, where are you from? United States of America? No, I'm Eurasian. I'm Eurasian, bro. I'm totally Eurasian.
I'm Americish.
I'm American. We'd be wild, right? It's like, what y'all
I like
doing out there,
Americans.
Barbados, with your stupid shorts?
Americans is how I feel right now because like I'm here
I
from
feel
here, but I
very
don't want to claim
Americish.
it.
Yo, that's it.
I
I'm
don't wanna-
American-ish.
Like, I mean, I live there, but I ain't with
I
the
live
shit.
here, but you know.
You know what that's
Yeah.
like when I'm like fucking somebody? I'm like, I don't really fuck with him, but you know.
Like, we
man.
could-
Yo.
Aight,
So the
bro.
basic-
Think about it. You could have
They
rent
told
for
him that his skin was because he was like, oh my god, it's like doing so well, and apparently. Because he's from there, they're saying your skin is like doing the best in our climate with our sand, with our water, like everything. You're gonna look your best where you're from because this is where your people are from.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's why certain white people can fucking last through the snow like that with flip flops.
And that's probably why their skin gets so fucked up in America because it's not originally from here. Wow. That's probably why. Makes a lot of sense.
So we're not supposed to be here.
You're not supposed to be here, bro. This ain't your.
Speaking
this
of
ain't
being
your
here,
city.
I honestly thought it was
Native
gonna be a
up-
little bit of dick talk. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna get there, yo. We're gonna get there. We
didn't even give you the
yo,
proper
You know,
intro.
and you
like
got
we're
on his little
supposed to. We just
shorts,
got
Kaz
into
looking
it.
good. You got a little print going. I've been
Oh,
looking.
listen,
dick print?
listen.
That's me too.
Dude, I checked.
That
the
is
dick.
me. That is fucking.
Yo, you
harassment.
just
I'm
called
not
it me
gonna
too,
stand this
Kaz.
shit.
You just
Listen,
sexually
I'm not gonna
harassed.
stand. You
Yo.
did just
You guys asked me
objectify
if
me
I was
on
gonna sell
TV.
pussy. I felt like we were here.
I
I didn't
asked-
say you were gonna sell pussy.
I did.
You said,
You
oh.
did.
I definitely
Try to
did.
fucking come on, bro.
No, but I asked. I didn't tell her she was gonna because I want her to use her own words for it.
This is true.
Do you know what I mean? You can't tell a woman what to do. You know what I mean?
Right. Like I have
Absolutely.
to offer the pussy for sale. You,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just asking
I
because
have to list it. You can't just post it for
facts. I'm not the agent.
me. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know what the property's valuated as.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I mean? Who do you think gets more, you or your co-host Mandy? Can you
I wanna know.
can you
Yeah.
say end of a podcast?
How's that? Oh my god! All right, so for people,
I've never had Mandy's pussy.
so
I
for
don't
people
know.
who have not heard of, and we kind of started off on the wrong foot without giving a proper introduction. Weezy is the co-host of a very popular podcast called Whoreible Decisions. Andrew was on it. Alex used to do the video. I don't know if he still does.
Yo, they got
I
cheap,
was
yo.
on it.
We
They
did
got
not
cheap.
get
Y'all got
cheap.
stop paying
Yo.
Alex.
Anyway.
Y'all got
Alex
cheap.
booked
Alex,
and busy.
air them out, yo. Air them out.
Let them
what
know,
happened?
bro.
I can't do
Let
that.
them know we got
Well,
bills.
let 'em know
B.
what
Yo,
they mean.
son, these girls,
I
these
can't
girls,
do that.
listen,
But they
gotta
got
pay you, bro.
the
We are
wildest-
paying Alex. Okay, look.
What?
We're not gonna get into this.
Listen, when anybody starts with look, it's bullshit after that. Why would I have to look at what you're gonna say?
First of all,
you know what I mean? That's how you know you're wrong.
Y'all know
Look,
exactly.
first of all,
that's all I'm gonna
the
say.
hand class, which let me know she was trying
It's
to
the black
think
girl.
of.
Let me switch subject.
Let me tell you. Look,
Yes, it does.
Shit.
couple things that only New Yorkers do. First of all, tell you what they're gonna do before they say it. New Yorkers are the only people to go, I'm gonna ask you a question. Yo, I'm gonna tell you something. Just fucking do it, fam. You're not even gonna ask me if you can ask me?
You know why?
Fuck. We the weirdest people, yo.
Anytime we say that shit, we're still fucking
We don't know the question yet. Yo, you're so fucking right.
We're
Especially,
still thinking about, I'm gonna tell you something. The wheels are still fucking turning up in
you know what that is? We just switching momentum. Girls got us on the ropes. We yelling, right? You're just yelling us. You think you got us caught cheating? Then we go, all right, let me ask you something then. This bitch like, oh yeah, what the fuck you gonna ask me?
You know, to be honest, whenever dudes is like talking to me during sex, they'd be like, so what you want to do? I'd be like, what do I want to do? And I'd be like, suck his dick, lick his ear. I don't know what to do.
You're doing all the calculating? Wait, a guy asks you, what do you want to do during sex?
Like, I'm talking about sexting. Like, what do you want to do to me? Like, good thing about sexting is it's premeditated, and I'm quick on my feet, so I could take time to, like... By the way,
People are still
it
sexting?
just popped up in my head. I'm thinking about sick nipple fuck. So, I'm fucking this new dude. I told Alex about it.
Oh, yeah.
First off...
Is this the dude you were with when Alex took...
Wait, what we talking
Oh, yo,
about?
this is real talk.
What are we talking about here?
Yo.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Wait.
That's what we gonna do. Because I'm the one that's always fucking happened to me.
Yo, Kaz.
I'm the one that always gotta deal with
Yo,
like
Kaz,
shorty
come on,
shit.
bro. We both Nigerian,
We're not
bro.
gonna talk about. We're not gonna talk about it.
You know
We're gonna throw Alex under the.
Why would you throw Alex under the bus?
Why wouldn't we?
Under the bus weekly.
Yo, all we do is throw him under the bus.
It's all about what's going on in my... You know how close me and Alex are?
I know you fucked the same girl.
We all thought you was fucking.
That's how close y'all are. Alex takes your bitches.
I fucked this dude.
Yo,
a condom stuck in my pussy and literally called Alex.
It came off?
Listen.
And Alex came into
I had to do that once with a Brazilian girl in college.
Wow.
I had sex with this girl and I came so fast I tried to keep stroking and then I got soft. And that shit came off.
I still don't believe
this
y'all,
fucking
came
condom
off.
went up in my pussy, and then he sat there and went to go get his glasses. By the way, this is also the title of my first episode. This is a year and a half later.
Go plug.
I'm like, yo, where's the condom? And he's like, and then he looks under the bed. I'm like, you know it's in my pussy. Fucking doing all this Blue's Clues, looking around shit. So he's like, I'll be right back. So he goes to get a pair of glasses, and then he does this with his phone.
Bro, she reached for my phone and I had to stop my hand. How you turn my phone on?
I was about to say, how did you do that?
Because the flashlight's right there.
Oh.
He fucking gets the
didn't know
goddamn
that?
flashlight. This is also the second time a man has got a flashlight, and I'm like, I don't understand.
So he took a flashlight to your pussy?
He just was like,
so
hold on, no.
Oh.
Hold on, I got a question. He took a flashlight to your Thai cave looking pussy and started searching for a condom he left in there.
I have one of those any pussies, you know what I'm saying, where you have to spread to see the hole.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of
I'm
like,
about to say, are they all innies? I don't know.
no, because
an outie pussy is called a dick.
That's
an outie.
I'm pretty sure most vaginas.
well,
Kaz is so casual after that shit.
very
Casual
thin
Kaz.
So what?
I got one of those outie ones with balls and then like a head on it. Yeah, so he was sucking on my outie pussy.
I just really like my little any pussy.
I
my
try to
clips
slide that in
tucked
real
in.
smooth. I'm like,
That's exactly what you do with outie pussy. You slide it in smooth.
that's disgusting.
All right.
There's
For the record, I still don't believe you and Alex.
that we didn't fuck yet.
I think y'all fucked.
Kaz, don't do that, bro.
I'm positive.
Why
I
do you
don't think
we
they
I'm
fucked?
fucked.
positive. No, all right, because
I know for a fact. I know for a fact they ain't fuck.
How you know?
I'm sure they
I
haven't,
know for a
but like
fact.
I need to know why.
I could tell you why, Kaz.
Why?
I'm gonna air you out, bro. I'm sorry.
Because he fucked white girls.
No. Nah. Nope.
I'm sorry. I love you so much. I'm sorry.
Nah, he fucked Mandy, bro.
Why do you think he
Really?
I mean,
Yo,
you never know.
Yo, son.
You dead ass?
Yo, son.
We didn't know.
Hey, she tight. She tight, bro. I knew she loved you. I knew she loved you, Alex. I knew she loved you. Yo, get that. Yo, son, get that right there on the close-up, son. Get that on the close-up. Nah, she hurt right now. She's struggling.
She's in pain.
She about to go to the gym.
see the hurt
She
in
about to
her
go to the
eyes?
gym. Do 150 more squats.
Yo,
She was tight,
Weezy,
bro.
yo, time out.
That's why Mandy want the video for free.
Oh
That's
my
why.
She paying for it in other ways.
It all makes
All right?
sense. How did I not put this
Bro,
together?
I got you.
Oh my God.
Alex, yo, you think he's going to spend time making graphics for
No,
nothing?
for the
thought
free
we were
skate?
friends.
We didn't even get graphics.
Word.
Why you think we didn't get graphics and y'all did? Okay, because he was cracking cheeks.
Oh my God.
Cheeks were getting cracked. Got Mandy all skinny.
Yo,
He got Mandy all skinny.
Now she took it. She's taking the weight.
Yo.
My feelings
Yo.
only hurt because he
Listen.
was about to try to fuck me. That's why I'm mad.
How did this happen?
Oh, now the truth coming out. Now the truth coming out.
Baby, here we go.
Not gonna do it.
We're not.
Not
Hey, we're not gonna talk over each other. This is gonna be
Alex,
fine.
Alex,
Everybody's gonna have
take-
respect. Okay. This is what we're gonna do. All right. We know for a fact. That you fucked 50 pounds off of Mandy. All right. That's a fact.
Oh my gosh.
We know for a fact. Okay. Real
Why are y'all
talk.
doing this?
We're not doing nothing.
Kill me.
Oh, wait, who's gonna kill you? Not the way
my
you cracked that out.
God.
You made her
What's the
believe in
matter?
life. You know what I'm
What's the
saying? You
matter?
got her so.
She's
listen,
the best shape of her life because of
listen,
you.
I dare you.
You said chill. Right now, both of you.
I dare
God,
you.
we're
I
here
dare you to
now.
explain. So look how
Now
tight
we're
you are.
here. Look
She's
how
trying to
tight
reconcile
she is.
everything right now, bro.
Yo.
Nah, because I thought we was close.
That's
I'm telling
why
you
I was
about
Hold
condom
on.
stuck in my
Yeah,
pussy.
I was sitting here. I was
and
like,
you
yo,
out
I
here
don't
telling
believe
me
it. I
Okay,
don't believe it.
can I be honest with you?
Oh man.
Alex said he was trying to mess with you, right? He would say he was trying to mess with you, and then Mandy started slimming up. And he said to me, he was like, yo, she goes, Schulz, I'm not lying, bro. Like, don't get me wrong, Weezy cute and all, but though Mandy tightening up,
Yo.
Mandy's
Mandy's
real
been working
tight.
really hard since January.
been.
And come to think about it, you did start our video around like December, January.
Oh, that's not the only thing he videoed.
Oh!
That's not the only thing he videoed.
All right. So here's my question.
All right.
For
Oh,
y'all
guys,
two.
don't do it.
Yeah,
Don't
y'all
do it,
two.
please.
Because I see
Me and Alex?
I see the way y'all look at each other,
Why
bro.
does everybody do
I
this,
see
bro?
the way y'all hang out. Like y'all be. I mean, bro, I got female friends too. We don't look at each other the way y'all look at each other, bro.
Alex said
I
that you
see
guys
it.
are brother and sister.
Like, bro.
That's
We
what he said.
we
He's
related.
like, I was like, yo,
Bro.
why don't you try to mess
I don't
with
look at my
Weezy?
sister like that, bro.
I go,
I'm just
listen.
saying.
What do we do?
I'm just saying, bro. Listen.
Alex said this. He goes, listen,
Yo,
that's
Kaz
my
just want to
sis.
smash. That's why he
Alex.
throwing all that. That's why he throwing all that sauce on
Alex.
it.
Woo.
He said, look, he goes, that's my sis. Weezy my sis.
Uh,
He goes, Weezy my sis. That's the homie. We just out here chilling. We friends. I was like, yeah, but you're not trying to do nothing, whatever like that. And he was like, it's not like that for me.
Okay.
there had to be. Here's
Yo,
what.
hold
here's
on.
what I was
Yo,
trying
you
to
see,
get at.
this is female arrogance,
Look,
B.
do you
This
see
is
it?
female
You see it?
arrogance.
'Cause
I
she-
said,
there's a
the real
story
talk.
with that
Let
face.
me
There's a
explain.
story
Let
to
me
this
explain
face.
female arrogance
I gotta
and why
know.
sometimes men get annoyed.
gotta know
This is
now.
why sometimes men get annoyed. Let me
Oh,
explain
God,
this.
yeah.
I
Talk
said
about
this.
it.
I said Alex
Talk about
said that Weezy's just a homie. And he ain't got nothing else like that. That's just his sis. And Weezy
Look
took
at
a
the
moment.
Charles. Yo,
Weezy,
first-
hold on,
I
Kat.
study body
He
language,
took a
so
moment.
watch this.
Weezy took a moment. Took a moment. And then she just went.
I gotta
She
know
laughed
the
at
story.
the idea
I
that
gotta
a dude
know the
wouldn't want to
story.
fuck her.
Okay.
That is
I
next
am
level
not saying that-
confidence.
Listen, I am
I
very
respect
humble.
I respect
Yo,
the
Weezy,
confidence.
don't let him bait you, yo.
No,
I
we
would not
here
let
now.
him bait.
Alex.
We
Oh,
here,
Oh, you mean
Alex.
to the Black Panther thing? That's all I was gonna say.
Okay.
Me and
Wait, what Black
Alex
Panther thing?
established very early on that
Okay,
we were
tell
gonna be
us.
just friends.
Okay.
All right.
How did you establish
Something
that?
has to have happened for
Yeah.
you to establish that. So
Dicking
what
down
happened?
Mandy.
and
What
Alex
was
did
the
a great
moment?
job.
Guys, too much talking over each other. Alex, chill out for a second. Too much talking over each other.
turned
You
into
tell us.
Maury real fast.
No. Guys. Seriously. There's people that have to listen to this. Don't fucking talk over each other. Let's go. Nah, son, I'm not. We have great content here. We're not gonna ruin it by having 3 different
I
conversations.
texted
Go.
Alex. I was like, yo, I need to see Black Panther, and I can't see it with one of my white coworkers because I need to be in there, like, you know what I'm saying? Just feeling it. We go to the movie together. First thing happens.
So you asked him out on a date.
You pretty much asked him out on a date.
That's not a date. If a dude asks you
You're
to go
an
to Black
empowered
Panther,
feminist in 2018. There's nothing wrong with you
I
saying,
did-
hey,
I-
I want to
I-
take this
I did
handsome
not
young
take it like
man.
that.
black man, handsome
This
young
handsome
black
young black man.
Black
Yeah.
man.
So
to take you.
I'ma start- let
So
me
you
finish
shot your
this.
shot. You shot your
So
shot.
I
Continue.
Okay.
did not. I really thought this was very platonic. One, because we work together
Yeah.
on this show.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I show up in gym clothes. Alex was wearing a nice outfit, and that let me know, like, ooh, okay.
Can you describe his outfit?
Describe
He was
the
wearing
outfit.
like a Adidas little. I can't remember. Something nice.
Let me ask you this.
He was dressed nice.
Doesn't he dress a little like a butch Puerto Rican lesbian? Like
Alex be hype beastin', but he dresses nice.
Okay, good. Did he have his chain out? He had the chain with the diamonds out?
I can't remember.
Yeah, he break that chain out.
Yo, he brought the chain
Hold on.
out.
Alex pays for my food.
Can I tell you one thing?
That
Yo, son, can I tell you one thing? This is what he took. Can I just tell you what you told me?
Yeah, go for it.
He told me after you fucked man, he put the chain on her. He said, you could wear that. you could wear that.
You do be having that chain out.
You could wear that. Oh shit.
I feel like you leave the chain under and like wax leaves his Timbs on.
Yo, for real.
Maybe,
you never take
possibly.
that chain. You know, I stay complimenting Mandy. I stay complimenting Mandy. Who compliments Mandy on the gram? I'm liking all the pics. I'm feeding it.
I'm fucking with Mandy. Mandy's the homie, man.
Say what?
Mandy's the homie.
Maybe that's why you was trying to curve me when I tried to foot fuck you on the show.
I let you foot fuck me.
No. I was trying to dip a little more in there.
Oh, you want to feel the real dick?
Yeah.
Well, let me blue chew it up.
You got any blue chew back there?
All right, go.
So you guys,
you go to Black Panther with your strong black man. You dress like a bum. He's out here respecting women by dressing nice.
So I bought the tickets because it was like
motherfucker had conflict diamonds on.
It was crazy.
How you don't care about Africa?
You know what I mean? So I grabbed the tickets first. So Alex is in the line with me and he's like, "How much were the tickets?" I was like, "Don't worry about it." And I was like, "Oh, I mean, it was like $10 a ticket." So he sends me 20. I was like, "Oh, okay." So he tried to pay for all the shit.
Okay.
Then he got the food.
Which, to be fair, if you're a gentleman,
maybe he's a gentleman.
Anyway.
I'm with you.
So he pays for the food.
You,
and I'm like, I don't know where this is going, but I don't know what's going on. So I was about to get on the subway. He was like, nah, I'm going to take you home. Which, now that I know Alex, he is a gentleman. I know he would do that for anybody. So we're in the car. We're 1 block away from my house. And Alex says to me, so is this like a date?
Oh.
Is this like a thing?
Respect, son.
Okay.
That's my guy.
And
That's an honest gentleman.
I said,
That's a respectful, honest
What did I say
gentleman.
to you?
You said, you just went, fucking devoured that shit. The dick was already in the mouth already.
I don't remember if I said, no, maybe later.
Said, Wakanda forever.
What did I say?
I don't remember.
I said something like, and I don't know if I said not right now, but like we both was going through a breakup at the time, and then he said cool because I only.
But okay, so I did when I did your episode of Horrible Decisions.
That's what you
So when I did your episode of Horrible Decisions, you said you were both going through breakups, but you helped each other get over.
We really did.
Those separate breakups.
We were going to the gym together. We were hanging out. It like really helped.
God damn, this shit is not helping.
Am I Stevie Wonder here? Like, dog, like, so why did it not work out after that first date?
Yo, like, Mandy, I love you, Mandy.
We know, Alex. We know.
That's a done
I'm gonna
deal.
tell you what happened.
Yeah.
Alex probably got to know me, and he probably was like, "Ooh, this bitch be patting her weave. Ooh, she be talking like this," and I wasn't Alex's type. And then that's probably what happened.
But I seen the look on your face when you found out that he fucked the co-host.
No.
Be honest with us right now.
As close as I am with Alex,
let me ask you one question.
Let me ask you one question. He didn't tell me if that was true.
Weezy, let me ask you one question. For a moment when you found out that he hit,
Why are we saying it like it's real? Stop.
For a moment, yo, son, for a moment when you found out that he hit, for just one moment in time, one brief moment in time, just hold on, just one moment, were you like, why didn't I get chose?
Yeah, you had to. It's all right. Be real. You had to.
All right, one part of me was like, was that the second date?
Nah. Let me ask you this: for one just tiny brief morsel in time, did you think maybe I should have worn a skirt?
Maybe you shouldn't have came in gym clothes that night, yo.
I'm saying.
Gym clothes right now, yo.
That's not gym clothes. Is that gym clothes?
I'm wearing gym clothes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that ship has sailed already, but I thought, all right, so here's the thing.
Yo, can we get off of this?
Yo, that ship has sailed. Yo, Kaz single. Kaz single.
That's funny. You single, but when you was on the fucking show, you were like, I can't talk about this, I can't talk about that, blah, 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 blah.
I
had wifey.
I respect my woman. Why would I?
Oh, so you're not single?
Now he's single.
Now he is.
That other shorty, that ship has sailed.
You recorded with me 3 weeks ago.
What, shit can't happen in 3 weeks?
3 weeks is a very long time.
What'd you do?
Why'd I have to do something?
Trifling ass.
I didn't do nothing trifling.
Probably did.
Say what you
First
did,
off,
bro.
we're not even talking about that.
Nah, say
what
you did. You
Nah,
did.
it was distance.
Nah,
That's all it was.
you
It
know
was
it was.
distance.
It was distance between his dick and her
I was
abdomen.
just going.
All right, that's what it was. He was chewing that up.
Nah,
That's what
we're
it
not
was.
gonna do that.
I feel like you got a big dick. I don't care what. I could feel it.
I appreciate that.
I'm looking
big
at
dick
your
energy.
legs,
That's what it's called.
Your hands. Like I feel like you have a big dick.
I appreciate that. I need that.
I really
compliment.
do.
Let's go in on this. Let's go in on this. This is a good topic. So
I'll show you mine. If
let's
you show me
talk
yours.
about Kaz. Ooh, you can see that not Alex pussy.
Look how she's trying to get Alex jealous right now. You see this shit?
Yo.
You see this shit? I'm not falling for your
Dude,
feet.
How you gonna put
Alex every week on my
you
show?
my G over here, bro. I would
Hey,
never.
my
I would
nigga,
never,
my
bro.
nigga, alright?
I would never, G.
You
Look
see?
how women do.
Hey,
Look
bro.
how women
Hey,
do.
fellas, you see how they try to divide us black men?
I ain't beat, yo. I ain't beat, man. Oh, man.
Yo,
Oh, man.
you see how these half white chicks be out here trying to divide?
Stop it.
Bro, that's fucked up.
Oh, my golly.
God.
jeez.
Oh,
You know what I
man.
mean?
I think y'all two should give it a shot one day.
Nah, I had Mandy already. I can't do that.
Yeah, you can. Mandy don't care.
What the fuck is this shit y'all saying right
Yo, why are you so jealous?
so upset.
Fucking,
Yo,
what
you're
is
so peanut butter and
Smuckers?
Bro,
jealous,
I
yo.
swear to God, I fucking
Straight
I be
Smuckers.
cooking for you, nigga. You been
Hey,
fucking
yeah,
telling
Oh!
She cooks for
Yo,
you.
you feeding him before he goes and
Oh,
fucks
right.
Mandy.
Yo,
He fucking Mandy on a full belly.
Yo.
He fucking Mandy on a full belly. You cooking him
My God,
bullshit.
yo, I'll be sick. I ain't going for it. You got a right to be sick. You got a right to
Yeah,
be sick.
you got. Oh my
Let
god.
him know how you feel. He's
Alex,
right
I
there.
swear
Yeah.
to God, if I could tell you that condoms in my pussy, you couldn't tell me that you was
Yo,
fucking
call
Mandy.
Mandy right now.
Call me.
Call Mandy right now.
yo, this is good.
Yo,
Oh,
call
this
Mandy
is
right
good.
now.
This
Who got her number?
is the
Call
crossover
me. I'm
episode
serious.
of the year, bro.
Oh, this is good.
Put your thumb on it. You're not allowed to talk. You're not allowed to touch your phone. Put your thumb. Put just your thumb. There we go.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
gonna be
This is gonna be
fantastic.
good.
Who the fuck is Daddy with two eyes?
My father.
Me.
Oh my God! Look at this.
Nah, this nigga getting bumped.
Smile, bitch. Smile.
Live your best life, man.
You know what?
best
Fucking
life.
all these white girls thinking you got white privilege.
Yo, yo.
Weezy, you know
Yo,
too much.
son.
Chill.
Son,
Too much.
yo, first of all,
Weezy, you know too
Please
much. You
call
gotta
Mandy.
chill.
can you just tell me how to spell Mandy?
Mandii. Because there's a different Mandy in there.
Oh,
Mandy makes letter sense.
Yo,
Yeah.
this is gonna be hilarious.
Oh,
Yo.
baby. Put that speaker up.
now we got this. It would be great if you had a real server.
You can't plug the joint in.
Yo, why you got her blocked? Why can't I hit any of the things?
I think you're on her email.
No, that's it. Boom,
It's not
call.
Mandy B.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
that's MAND.
It's letter sense.
Oh, that's it. My
Okay.
name is Mandy McSlutters.
All right, we're calling Mandy right now. I'm not even doing FaceTime.
Yo, this is gonna be
Yo,
hilarious.
Which
nobody-
mobile?
Nobody speaks.
First one or second one?
646?
Don't say the whole thing, shorty. You know what I mean?
I know. I don't know the whole number. 646.
Put down speaker.
We going right on speaker. We going right on speaker. All right.
Your call has been forwarded.
Oh shit! Horrible decisions done. Horrible decisions done.
didn't
She got
even get
put
the
right to
full
voice.
ring.
Hey, Alex. Now let me call from yours. Watch that shit pick up. Yo, watch
I
that
swear,
shit
Alex,
pick up immediately,
Alex,
fam.
call her.
Brett.
Right here,
Call her,
son.
bro.
Right here,
Call
son.
her. Call her.
Yo, give me the phone. I need to make the call. I need to make the introductions.
This is the funniest episode. Oh God! I
All right,
wish.
ready?
Why are you trying to start a fight, bro?
Say,
no
Is this
hold
because I
on.
ain't going half on the Burning Man RV? I'm pissed.
First of all, we're gonna get to that because I'm tight on that.
Me too.
I really you think about how much fun we're having right now, how much fun we would have had at Burning Man. Weezy almost came
Your
out.
call has been forwarded.
She may be in her office.
Son.
You win this
Yeah,
round,
nah.
Mandy.
God damn it, that would have been so
Oh,
lit.
that would've been
would've
so
been-
good.
That would've
Nigga,
been
I'll tell
so
you right now, you
lit.
fuck Mandy. We ain't talking no more.
Wow.
But I thought y'all was just friends.
But why wouldn't
thought
you
y'all
tell
was
me?
bros.
You
You
fucking-
Oh,
you
she said
holding-
she at work. She said she at work.
You really
Hold
holding
on.
this
She
secret from me?
texted him back at work.
Yo, tell her go
Immediately.
to the bathroom real quick. 5
You didn't
minutes.
get any text back.
Oh, she texted Alex back.
Wow.
She texted Mandy back.
Wow.
Can we talk about something else? Because I want to fight
Yo,
Alex.
yo.
Yo, what you doing? Yo,
Yo.
chill.
Yo.
What?
What you doing?
I said, yo, Schulz called me back. That's all I said.
Let's see.
Call me back. Did I not say that? That's exactly what I said, fam. Chill out. I'm on your team. Did you not know?
No, bro.
I'm biased. You know what we're doing over here.
So how did we get there? We were talking about condoms in my own vagina, and somehow.
Yo, you ever
I
use
said
the
I didn't
Nouveau
believe-
ring? The Nouveau ring?
Nah, I don't trust that shit.
I said I didn't believe.
I'll
that
be honest with
actually
you. Right
never
now,
hooked
I
up.
do the rhythm method. For those of you that don't know what it is, it means that you track your ovulation period because that's when you can get pregnant. But I really don't want to fuck up my body with hormones.
that
You do the
shit-
rhythm method?
Yup, that shit works.
Yeah.
Really?
I
does
never.
it?
Yo, I never. Shit.
First of all,
not,
that shit works.
this is Mr. Abortion over here talking about that work. Yo, my man
Nigga, you
over
out here
here.
getting abortions since
Bro.
we've been friends. You ain't gonna tell me about it.
Yo,
No.
son, how you think Mandy lost 50?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Stop.
That's that scoop from Al, bro.
This episode, yo, someone's going to get somebody's getting into a fight.
Listen, me
after
and
this.
Mandy already argue every episode.
Oh
you about to
my
make us. You about to cancel the show.
God,
You gonna come
First
in?
of all, let me tell you something about arguing on podcasts from someone who argues with a co-host on a podcast.
Wow.
It makes a great podcast.
Therapeutic.
It's great. Trust me.
Therapeutic.
Y'all need to talk it out, though. You can't keep it in. If you keep it in, it's fucked up.
Well,
And I
apparently
mean
she's been
that
keeping it up with
sincerely.
Alex.
Like,
Y'all
Alex,
playing with me?
She's so mad. Damn, I'm sorry, Weezy.
I really feel like I've been lied
I just
to.
thought
I
y'all
know.
hooked up before and y'all wasn't telling nobody. I didn't know though. I didn't know all this.
yeah.
Oh.
Yo,
Oh.
how about we do this? Why don't you and Alex just make out?
Yeah, why not?
Just right now.
Right now.
Y'all
Let's do
just
the show.
make out. Y'all just make out for real quick. Alex will turn.
It seems fair.
Hey, take
Alex,
that.
come over here, Alex.
Alex,
No,
no,
it's
hold
fair.
on.
Nah,
We're not
fuck
gonna
it.
pressure anybody, but Alex, turn that Tiger Woods hat back. Do you know
You know
what
what?
I
You
mean?
don't even gotta be on camera. Y'all can be behind camera. You'll just get
Nah.
our reactions.
This is
can't
bad
do
way.
it.
This is like some high school shit.
You know what?
Is it
That's how I
weird?
know we'll never have sex. Because just hearing that, it was got.
Well, now y'all wouldn't.
No, it got
weird.
I gotta make out with Mouse too. I lost a bet.
Oh, you gonna follow through with that?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow through with that. I'm worried about what his
You
ears
just
gonna
wanna-
smell like.
You just want to
You
kiss
just wanna
Mouse.
make out
That's
with
it.
Mouse.
I don't want to just make out with Mouse.
Yo,
you
shouts to
do.
my guy
I'll make out
Mouse,
with you the
man.
way you're
Shouts to
facing me.
Mouse. Yo.
Hey, I appreciate that compliment.
All right, now listen, real quick.
Yo, you were
Please
texting a
get off
whole
this shit,
lot.
Andrew,
That's a
please.
whole lot of yo. This is
How
show
long
call
has this
back.
First of all, why you worried? You got a text plan?
No, I'm just
You got free
saying.
nights.
How many
weekend, bro.
texts you got? You got only 50 texts for the month?
Hey, remember free night to the weekend?
Fam.
Far right.
For those of you that don't know what's going on, Andrew is texting Mandy down in fucking Alex's phone right now,
yeah.
which is probably on favorites the way y'all niggas been playing me.
Yo, Alex, I got to shout to Alex, man. Go on my close-up right now.
Oh man.
Go on my close-up
Oh
right now.
man. Well, you gonna
Don't
show?
see.
Alex got a
this is why you ain't getting no pussy.
Alex got a reminder on his phone, and the reminder says pray.
Oh,
There we go.
With Kanye underneath
Oh,
it.
yeah.
with
No,
your
the
trifling
Kanye is a
ass.
screenshot. Kanye is a screenshot.
That's still
but
the
like,
problem.
that's the wallpaper. When
You
it's
be
holding
listening to
up
Kanye,
there.
Kaz?
Yeah, I listen to Kanye.
Mm,
What?
Nah, but
What?
I do every night.
What?
You
What's
pray
wrong
every
with
night?
listening to
Every
Kanye?
night,
You know
For
what's
real?
He ain't running for office.
Did I?
Hold on. We're doing too many. One combo at a time. We're gonna get to why you hate. Wait, you hate Kanye.
What do you mean hate, dude? I used to support that man so much.
So you feel let down by Kanye?
let down?
Yeah.
He's like literally made a mockery of all of us. And
He never fucking represented me. He just makes some good music, though.
What do
That's
you
all
mean?
fucking
He
is.
re- so let me tell you something.
No, that's
he didn't
idol-
represent you.
that's
okay.
idol work. I
So
don't- I
let's
don't
think
believe
about
to idol-
most
I don't-
famous,
Hold on, real quick.
most popular black
I
people.
want you to-
now
I
all
want
these
you-
white kids out here saying, "Oh, well, Kanye said you guys weren't slaves, so it looks like you want to be in your position." That's
Nah.
exactly what he
Real
did.
quick.
He gave all these fucking white kids the room to fucking talk shit.
I want to hear.
See, I
I
never
just want to hear what Kaz. I want to hear your argument about not idolizing. What
Yeah,
were
like
you
I've
saying?
never subscribed to idol worship anyway. Like that's what like I like just stopped liking R. Kelly like this year.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
Like,
right,
I'm like,
right.
you make good music, cool. Like you're not running for office. You don't
Right.
make any difference in my daily life at all. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I can compartmentalize very well, and some people may not like that. And I'm like, bro, like I like Chris Brown music. I like Kanye music.
Right.
I still step in the name of love. Like, are they shit people? Probably. But do them being shit people affect me at all? Absolutely not.
That's it.
So I mean that's
And what were you saying? You're saying that he gives license to white kids to say what?
It's just like something able to. He's giving something to piggyback off of. You know, when you're a prominent black voice like that, you have to realize the tool you have. And what really annoyed me when me and Alex got into the argument, because we both loved Kanye just as much, right? And he was
Wow.
like, "Look."
Seems like you guys got a lot in common.
a whole lot of time.
he's like, listen, he clarified it. But he only clarified it because Van said what he said.
Yeah.
If Van didn't do that, Kanye wouldn't have sat there and been like, oh, well, let me go on Twitter and say what I meant to say. Nah, you said it. Charles was over there being
he said it correctly during the Charlemagne.
Whatever, bruh.
I'll tell you
Listen
this.
to me.
I just
the
want to say one
motherfucker's
point.
sitting here sucking Donald Trump's dick on TV
Weezy.
every day. Oh, he's so great. He's this and that.
Weezy.
People that even voted for Trump, at least don't fucking flaunt it in our face. We get it. You want your taxes lowered. You really gonna make a mockery out of us?
So here's the thing. I try to judge people on their intent, not their interpretation. Because I want to be judged on my intent, not my interpretation. As a comedian, I say fucked up jokes, but I want you to laugh. That's what I'm intending to happen, right? But if you interpret it with malice and you interpret it with hate, now you're putting that on my soul, which is not there. So, like, maybe Kanye's intent with what he was saying was not to belittle an experience, right? Maybe his intent was part of the explanation, but you and a lot of other people, because it was communicated poorly, interpret it in the worst possible way. You know, but like you're going to say some things on your podcast, and then some woman might go, she's saying that girls should, you know, do all these
All
sexual
the time when I talk about BDSM.
Sure.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Your intent is not to make every single 14-year-old girl try to just get, you know, whipped and chained or whatever like that. Your intent is good, which is...
But Andrew, I have a sex podcast where I talk about my experiences. I'm not going to sit here and be one of a huge black entertainer.
Do you want to be judged on
and
your
then
intent?
Shit on my own people.
Do you want to be judged on your intent, or do you want to be judged on however some stranger could interpret you? That's the question. Because when I eat a hamburger, it's because I think it's delicious, not because I hate animals.
My authenticity,
you feel me?
is why people like me. Or
gives a fuck
why
anybody
people
likes
listen to
you?
me. Excuse me, not listen to me.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily what they're getting from, right? I know they're gonna click on it. They think I'm a whore. Some people know, oh wow, she works in tech, she's smart. Whatever they think of me, it doesn't matter because they listen because they know there's an organic part of me on that show.
Right.
But the thing with what Kanye did, it's not like he didn't even give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? He's basically sitting here like, I'm going to say what I'm going to say about black people. Look at the tweets. Oh, I thought I was canceled. It's this arrogance to, I'm on a pedestal and you're not there.
And whose fault is that?
What do you mean whose fault is that?
Good question.
It's our fault.
Good question.
So
That's our
then-
fault. Because we
then
put
should-
people
Let-
on, when you put people on such a pedestal, their only fucking job after that is to fucking let
We
you
gotta
down.
we have to blame ourselves for putting black dollars in a black person?
Nah, nigga, it's entertainment. It's
So
a
what about the
fair
other entertainers that haven't cooned
It
out?
is a fair fucking exchange, dog. Like, if you make good music, I'll buy it. That is fucking it. And I don't expect anything else from you. And that's just me. You could be different. You could be different. You could be different. That is just fucking
I'm going to be
me.
honest with you.
I will
Kanye taught
support
me a
you
lot
as
about the
long
art
as
that I
you
will support.
entertain me.
Hitler was a great painter. Why we ain't buying his shit?
Because his paints wasn't
His
slapping.
paint was trash.
They say.
The paint
People
taste
say
was
that
trash.
Hitler was a great painter.
I say
Name
this
one
shit all
painting.
the time.
I
say
don't
this
because
shit
no
all
one
the
buy
time.
it,
Hold on.
'cause
Name
it's
one
trash.
painting.
When the
So why would we buy Kanye
When the
shit?
Kanye album
Because
was
Kanye
coming out,
slaps.
Tell you what,
When
I don't
the-
listen
Kanye
to
slaps.
I
Nah,
couldn't
but
tell
here's
you
the thing.
how
Here's the
songs
thing.
go on
Here's
that
the
shit.
So then you can't
Here's
tell.
the thing. When the Kanye rollout was
Liar.
happening, I said this from Jump Street.
One combo.
I'm like, whatever Kanye's talk about in all these interviews, if this shit slaps, guess what? I'm gonna
I'm
listen
slapping
to
it. Yeah.
It hit and miss. It wasn't nothing too crazy, so like it came and it kind of went to me.
I think about it a lot when I hear Andrew say like, oh, you know, you said on Mouse's episode, like, oh, how famous you are, that lets you be exempt from certain things, blah, blah, blah. I have really been trying to keep that same energy with if I'm protesting out here, which I do, and I'm really sitting here going on my show and rocking with women, black people, people of color, any kind of rights, I can't put another stream up there for Kanye. I can't do
I
it.
feel you. But my thing is, the reason why I say it's our fault is because like we give him that power. Like when you make him more
Question.
than just a dude that makes good music, when you make him more than a guy
Absolutely.
who's just somebody who's famous, that's our fucking fault. And I don't say it's your fault specifically. I mean,
Right.
it's our fault in the fact that like we live in a population where a high percentage of people are fucking stupid and very easily swayed and very easily manipulated, and that's a big problem. So and it could be wrong. It could be somebody else. Somebody else could think some type of way or whatever. My way of dealing with it is fucking compartmentalizing with every entertainer. When it's time for me to listen to some music, that's when I go to Kanye. When it's time for me to go watch a movie and be entertained by a movie, that's when I go watch, whoever the fuck.
Tom Cruise.
I don't know. Mel Gibson, when he said the fucked up shit about Jewish people. Whatever.
Right.
I'm like, if the movie's dope, I'm going to watch it. If the music's good, I'm going to listen to it. I ain't voting for you You ain't no politician.
So you watching Roseanne show? If she's funny?
The nigga ain't funny. She ain't funny.
But what if it was hilarious?
If it was hilarious, I would watch that.
So here's
my sense of humor, it could be racist, it could be sexist, it could be all that type of stuff. If it's funny, it's funny to me.
I changed my mind.
Kaz
is medium.
It's funny. Yo,
Kaz
Louis
is
C.K.
Check it. So Kaz, okay,
let me finish. Louis C.K. has a great bit about saying the N-word. Saying nigga or nigger, hard ER.
Yeah.
And it's fucking hilarious. And you know why nobody trips out? Because it's fucking hilarious. That's it.
So
once you
you're
make it
talking
more
about,
than what it is,
which is great, which is compartmentalizing, we act like we don't do that when we already do. You have a cell phone made by slaves, child slaves, mine cobalt, black child slaves.
Why did he have to say that to make it matter more for me?
it's true.
Because you
see
talking
how
all
you
this
just
black
said
pride.
You
You talking all this black
drive that
pride.
point home.
Wait,
Hold
let me
on.
finish my
I've heard
point.
you
Let me
talk about
finish
the
my
slave
point.
thing with
Let me
phones.
finish my point. Black child slaves mine cobalt for your phone. Sweatshop workers make your phone. You have compartmentalized. Your shirt is made in sweatshops. Your sneakers are made in sweatshops by little kids. You have compartmentalized all those fucked up things that you support in your life. You're going to get a diamond ring, I imagine, when you're married. Took a couple African kids' arms to get that shit, right? So here's the thing. You roll your eyes, but we are all complicit in this world that we live in. Kaz's strategy, to be honest, I think is the most mature. By not making someone your idol, he's not responsible for leadership. All he's responsible for is the content that he creates. And if that content is shitty, you don't fuck with it. And if the content is good, you do. But if the get this.
Okay.
If the content is good, it doesn't make him a political authority. All it makes him is someone good at making music. So you equally don't give them credit for anything else besides the content.
It's not that I can't tell you that I don't think... I'll be honest with you. Kanye was my favorite rapper.
Sure.
I literally
Mine
had
too.
to go back and listen to J. Cole and all these other motherfuckers because I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do today when his album came out. I was freaking out. It was hard not to click on it. I kept telling Alex how I'm hearing the song. What's it called? All Mine? Because I know how it starts because I'm hearing it in the club. Yeah. That's how much I'm trying not to listen to it because I don't want to be a hypocrite to myself. But I don't really understand why people are so shocked that some people don't want to support him. Like you brought up the point about the shoes and the other shit. Why does it take out? No, but people were like really coming from my neck.
I don't think it's shocking at all. I think people in general are very easily swayed.
I don't think he has to be a political leader to have an effect on people, though.
Yeah, I mean,
and so that's why it does bother me with what he said. He doesn't need to be a Trump or an Obama or a Bernie Sanders, Angela Rye, whoever, Kamala Harris, to say something that's impactful. And if you use your voice to say something so asinine like he did, and to me, it was shitting on black people.
Okay, so put it like this, right? So say you're a Kanye fan from jump, all right? The reason why you like Kanye, instead of more than him just making really good music, you like him because, you know, he made a song called Jesus Walks. His mom was in the fucking Black Panther, whatever. I forgot the group, whatever. Like, you know, he's a righteous, woke black man who is succeeding in a genre which has thrived on ignorance, right? So, would you keep that same energy for a politician? Would you keep that same energy for a leader of the church? If you're following somebody and you follow their views, and that say you follow Obama, right? Are you just gonna blindly follow Obama no matter what the fuck he says? No. Chris Rock has a great bit about that shit, dog. It's like, I got some shit I'm conservative about. I got some shit I'm liberal about. Like prostitution, I'm liberal. Crime, I'm conservative. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you give Kanye that same energy of like, oh, okay, I get it. He was my favorite rapper too. I got all the albums. I love Beautiful Touch with
Maybe
Fancy.
it's the personal investment. My first
and
time.
that's okay.
You feel let down.
That's okay.
Absolutely.
I'm not trying to make it seem like it's not okay.
When I was broke and I wanted to go to a Kanye concert, I'll never forget, I sold one of my purses to go see Kanye.
God damn.
Okay, like that's how much I invested in.
That's American broke.
I sold one of my Louis bags.
No, right? This is how rich Americans are. When I was broke, I sold one of my purses. You got multiple purses to choose from.
Hey,
I could deal without the Louis.
To put, you know,
yes,
to see him. So like I felt that, you know, I mean, sure, I don't have to go through that now, but I still know that I've invested my time and energy and, frankly, yelling at people when he was talking about how awesome Trump was. Like, no, don't worry, it's still the same Kanye.
Who? Let me ask you this question, and again, I don't have the answer, but I'm just curious to your feeling on it. Who would you say maybe, because you're upset because he let down the black community. Who do you think lets down the black community more? Kanye for his views when he said that about Trump, or let's say a gangster rapper who, really highlights some awful stereotypes about the black community.
So here's
do you keep that same energy with them?
What I'm angry about.
Yeah, the music slaps.
Is huh?
Well, so real quick, just before I hear your answer, just before I hear your answer.
So you're talking about like a rapper saying bitches and hoes or something?
Real quick. With Kaz's consumption of content, you get to listen to the gangster rapper saying the wild shit because he's not a political influence. Yeah. He's not an idol. You just listen because it's
talking about fucking shooting people and
it don't matter because it's just music.
I can do that shit. It's just music and it slaps and I enjoy that shit and I can.
But if every musician for you is a political figure, and now you have this one musician that's glorifying gang violence, that's saying, selling drugs is somewhat of an acceptable way to make money, right? You must hold him somewhat accountable for his influence on the people as well, right? Would that be fair or no?
Sure. I mean, I don't know if I give everyone else that much weight. Because, for example, a YG that talks like that about Bloodwalk, Crippin' and shit like that, how many white people out here know YG? Is YG on TMZ talking about slapping bitches up and shit like that? No. It's like you used that platform to do something fucking terrible.
Right.
That's what he did.
But so how many people, I guess I would ask you, is enough of a following for it to matter? Like, is it 100,000 people or 200,000? I don't know the quantity. Right, but now I'm not trying to pigeonhole you into a corner. I'm just trying to use your logic and see when somebody becomes a detriment. Because your argument with YG is not that the material is bad. It's that he's not famous enough to have an effect.
No, I'm talking about the platform and using it wisely. So music is music.
Sure.
Right? Kanye might have said some cool shit in music before and I never caught it. But to sit there and go on a TV show where you already know you're under fire for talking about Trump and people feeling uncomfortable, who's not a popular person today.
Right.
And you use that platform to really sit there and then say, black people weren't slaves? Sounds like a choice.
Well, he didn't say
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Black people were slaves for 400 years. Sounds like a choice.
Right. So the 400-year mark.
To then imply that we were just subservient, that we.
Well, no, that's not what it is, right? The 400-year marker is not the.
So we should have overturned, slaves didn't do that, like Nat Turner, like all of these fucking movies out here, black people. I mean,
this is a perfect example of your misinterpretation. You're misinterpreting what it is.
So what did he say?
First slave comes to America 1618. Slavery ends 1863. Right? Emancipation Proclamation. Let's go 1865 because that's when the North wins the war and every single state, regardless of whether they were for the North or against the North, loses slavery. That is 250 years, right? 260 years, something like that. 232. There's another 168 years that will get you to 400. And I think what he was trying to say is we shouldn't mentally enslave ourselves for that 168 left. Even if somebody's trying through systemic oppression.
But you have to remember, Andrew, you're bugging right now talking about that black people have been mentally keeping themselves down. I'm sorry, but I can't sit here and really hear you say this when we're watching. Black people die all the time.
No, guys. Don't put words into my mouth.
But that's what you're saying. 160 years of mental enslavement just because they were free?
Careful. I'm saying what he's saying. This is not what Andrew's saying. I'm explaining where you get to 400.
Okay, him saying mental enslavement.
He's talking about a mentality, right, that could be equivalent to a mental enslavement. And I think he's having this breakthrough of,
I get it.
I will not be a quote-unquote victim of this horrible oppression that we have experienced.
But he don't really need to feel that, right? You could sit there on your Hollywood Hills house and say that, which is exactly what Van said to him.
Absolutely.
You're not out here like we are.
Absolutely.
Dude, my mom is 68 years old, and in her lifetime, she drank from a different fountain. Do you know how crazy that is? I'm 27 years old. My mom is 68.
Sure.
In her lifetime. This is not great people that died, dude.
Yeah, these people are still alive.
These are people that are still living to tell a story.
Still people.
Right. No one's denying what...
No, I'm not saying that anyone's denying it, but to really say that it's mental enslavement when people have lived in this time
I guess my question
of oppression. Because people love to call out, hey, black people are out here. You know, opportunity, it can happen. You can't live and act like you're the one out here and everyone's out against you. No, people are really going through shit.
Absolutely.
Listen, getting pulled over, I feel like I'm gonna beat a dead horse.
You're not beating a dead horse. Here's the question. Here's a question, right? We just have to decide whether or not you could have mental repercussions to horrendous oppressive treatment, right? Like, so a girl who maybe is molested or raped as a kid, right? They'll maybe have mental repercussions for the rest of their life because of that horrible treatment, right?
Yeah.
And it's possible that when you go through not just police brutality, we're talking about like legalized wealth gapping, right? We're talking about you can't get a loan to get a house. We're talking about redlining. How do you build wealth in America? You buy a house, right? And you pass that house on to your kids. And we're talking about times in history where the system was reworked to not offer black people loans so they could start building this wealth. And then you see this big discrepancy,
like our president
right?
with real estate.
Absolutely, right? So what happens is when you deal with that treatment, I would assume, and again, I'm not a black person, but I would assume that there is a mental cost as well as the physical one. It's not just the police beating you. It's the idea that the police, the people that protect, could be after you.
But that's also awareness, because I'm sorry, but Kaz can't ride down the fucking street and think he's got to just be like,
You're missing my point. You're missing my point. You're missing my point. Is there a mental cost to that abuse?
I mean,
yes or no? It's a yes or no question. Do you think so? Black
but
people.
Is it mental? Like,
so okay.
Why
so
are
you're
we
saying
calling
there's
it
no mental
enslavement
cost
when it could be awareness? Just because
now you're using synonyms.
No, I'm not.
Now we're going back to intent or interpretation, right? It's you're choosing to interpret it differently. What I'm saying, just me personally, is I'm saying there is a mental cost to being abused. There's a huge mental cost to being abused.
Absolutely.
Right? That's without a doubt.
I think there's one thing in our community, and that's why I've always been like super outspoken about like, you know, mental health, especially with young black men, because like, dog, like we go through so much fucking mental trauma that that goes so unchecked, you know what I'm saying? Like just from stuff that we grew up around, just from stuff that we watched, just some stuff that like, you know, just normalized to us that you go and tell somebody else and they're like, oh my God, that sounds crazy. And you don't even blink because you're just like, oh, that's how I grew up. That's life. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't hit you until much, you know, and some people it never hits them. You know what I'm saying? Like, but, you know, for some people, for me, it didn't hit me until I was like 29, 30. You know what I mean?
When did you?
It hit me this year.
When did you start? When did you start taking in? No, not even seeing a therapist, but like making an effort to remove some of that cost, remove some of that, you know, mental. I don't know what you want to call it. Repercussions of that treatment.
I would say maybe when I was about like 27, 28. It was around that time that like I started making like some decent money, and I was, you know, empowered by like I would say, not for nothing, I would say probably when I was working for Steve Stout. Like when I was working for Stout, and you know, people could say what they want about him, but like, you know, I had never seen a black man like that, you know, be so affluent, and you know, not only, and maybe he wasn't like that before, but when I got there, he made an effort to empower more young black people and more young minorities, and make sure and start to build that shit that Jay-Z talks about all the fucking time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he was on that shit already.
Right.
And I didn't realize how important that shit was. I mean, obviously I realized it because I benefited from it.
Right.
But like, I didn't realize how important that shit was until, you know, the Trayvon shit started happening,
right,
until, you know, these police shootings and just all of the stuff that's just fed to you on TV and just beat you over the head about everything that was going on with race relations in this country. That's when it made me realize a lot more what was going on and how important it was to break that cycle.
So
or to attempt that break.
First,
cycle.
like you were saying, step was awareness. You realized that you became aware of some sort of, maybe mental slavery isn't the right way to do it, but some sort of imprisonment or mistreatment or some sort of effect from the things you went through.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it imprisonment. I would just call it, you know, for lack of a better term, like I guess awareness is a better word. You know what I mean? Like some things you're just not aware
But
of.
you realized that you needed to break it.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's not like, oh, you know, I wasn't. Don't get me wrong. Like I grew up. Oh shit.
Why did that scare the shit out of me?
We good. My bad.
Yeah, sorry.
Go.
Don't get me wrong. Like
Puerto Ricans in their
Got
switchblades.
3 minutes and I'm still scared.
Go on.
I wasn't born like into like a terrible situation. Like my mom worked really hard,
Of course.
and you know, if it was a bad situation, my mom worked hard enough where I wouldn't even
Gotcha.
notice, right? So,
But you made a choice that you were going to break that cycle, like you said.
yeah, absolutely.
So
like,
there was something that needed to be broken
yeah, I mean,
in order for you to have the kind of prosperity that maybe Stout had. Maybe you saw something in Stout and you're like, yo, he's not held back by shit.
yeah, like,
I'm not going to
dog,
be held back
he's-
by shit.
He is all about ownership. He's all about buying back the block. He's all about fucking, you know, and he was somebody I got to like study and, you know, not just like work for, but like he made it a point of duty to be like, no, sit in this conference room with us. No, tell them why this is corny and why people don't do this and yada yada yada. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't just about like, okay, like we're gonna spend some money with black people because it's cool to be multicultural. And I was like, no, there's a reason why, you know, he's so gung ho about being for the culture and elevating it and all that type of stuff, because this is how you break that cycle. You know what I'm saying? Like this is how, once you take what we know from the back of our hands and normalize it and bring it to the masses, that's, I guess, to his way, that he broke that cycle in his family. That's why that's the whole point of The Tanning of America. That's the book that he wrote. And when you get hired there, he makes every fucking body read that book before you start there. And basically, to give like a really short synopsis, it's basically how America learned to be black. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's how America became tan.
Right.
Like moments, cultural
Sure.
moments, fucking consumerism, you know, the athletics,
Our magazine
Obama,
covers right now.
all that. Our magazine covers right now, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's still so new.
Right.
It's still so new. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why we were talking about that shit before. Like I've never in my life seen this many black women on magazine covers.
You know, I passed
that
a
were
newsstand
usually...
and thought that it was like that because the neighborhood I was in.
Really?
I'm not. This is no bullshit.
Right.
It's like you're this Vogue, Marie Claire.
I was like, oh, maybe it's because I'm uptown right now.
yeah,
Right.
You know, and I was like, oh no, this is really black girls.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
And-
But you had to break some kind of cycle, right? And like,
well, we all
may-
have to.
look, we all have to.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah,
has a cycle to kind of break. Sometimes it's like alcoholism in your family.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's depression in your
Yeah.
family. Sometimes there's so many cycles that everybody's going to have to break. We openly are aware of and acknowledge this cycle that black people in America have had, which is one that has been bestowed upon you. There's certain cycles that are genetic, right? Some people are born with an alcoholic gene. Other people are born where things happen to you because of the color of your skin.
You know, I think I know why I'm.
but do you
we're
get
talking
what I'm
about
saying,
cycles, and now I'm
Weezy?
feeling a certain way. So like, and I don't want to keep talking.
If you
about
talk
it too long.
about your fucking period, nobody cares about your goddamn cycle.
Not that cycle.
Go on.
So like, I believe that racism is something that's taught, and I believe that I'm from Florida, where there's a lot of racist shit.
Right.
And I believe it can be a cycle with white people too. And so, living in a time where we have a president who works off principles of KKK members
Yep.
and nationalists, and it made me feel like Kanye gave them ammo, and maybe they
Yeah,
were, maybe
he
they were in the
did.
middle of breaking their cycle, and now they're like, "Told ya."
He absolutely did.
And I think that's what, not necessarily what it did for black people, but like, what did it do for white people that they know how much we love you, Kanye.
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah.
You know, they know we love you, and you said that. And whereas you're articulate enough to understand what he was saying,
Right.
somebody else won't.
Somebody
be.
might not.
Yeah.
Somebody will weaponize
That's
it.
why,
Yeah.
yes,
Right.
and I think
That's
that's
what I said.
why.
Like the majority of our population is dumb and easily manipulated.
What is
and
it like?
easily
38%
swayed.
of Americans have a passport.
Dude,
I mean,
that's the reality of the world, right? And I think what you say has a lot of weight, which is you were seeing like, you know, the horizon, right? You were seeing like the sun coming up. You're like, yo, is it about to happen? Is it about to turn? Or
Yeah.
are we seeing like true acceptance happening in America? This is fucking dope. And then all of a sudden, boom, thunderstorm,
Yep.
right? So I understand the anger and stuff that goes there, but I wish that Kanye articulated what he said maybe in a better way, because not everybody's going to have the experience Kaz has, right? Not everybody's going to be able to sit down with a Stout or
No, they're
sit
not.
down with like an Oprah, or sit down with these figures that make
not
you go.
Not with the 4 to 1 in jail. I mean, it's not gonna happen.
Sure, but like, not everybody's gonna sit down with these figures that make you go, yo, I didn't even realize I had this mentality. One, and two, I could break it and do anything. Like every time I watch Diddy, I'm not a black dude. Yeah. Every time I watch Diddy, I think I can do anything.
That's my hero.
Son, I think I could do anything, dude.
That's my hero.
I'm like the biggest fucking Diddy fan, right? And because some people have this this fake enthusiasm, and there's something about Diddy.
Yeah, no,
that's authentic.
That's legitimate, and it doesn't have to be anything like where you have to apply it to entertainment.
Right.
Like the motherfucker, like I don't even know how much I can talk about this, but like Diddy reminds me of Vince McMahon.
Sure.
Where it's like, yeah, he's super, rich and powerful, but he's the hardest fucking working dude in the building, bar none. Nobody, he does not sleep. Just like Puff. Puff does not sleep. Puff does not. I forgot who told me the story. I think it was my man Wayne. I think Wayne told me the story, but I might be off or whatever. But he was like, he came in on Christmas Eve, I think, at the Bad Boy offices with a mink coat, diamonds, all this type of stuff. Sat there while everybody was working. And he was like, I bet y'all motherfuckers real mad, huh? It's like, I bet y'all really upset. Like, I bet y'all want to live like this, and yada, yada, yada. It's like, why this motherfucker coming in with all his jewelry, yada, yada, yada. I dare one of you motherfuckers to outwork me. I dare you. He's like, y'all mad y'all working on Christmas Eve? Like, I was doing this, that, and the third tonight and tomorrow and all this, and I'm still going to see my kids, and I'm still going to do da-da-da-da. It's like, I dare one of y'all to outwork me. That's the only way you're going to get here. And he fucking took off and did some other Diddy shit. And I'm just
smoke bomb out.
I'm just like, yo. And it's like, and if you don't want to be that type of success, if you don't want to be that type of person, that's fine. You can live a perfectly comfortable life and, still break that cycle without being fucking Diddy successful.
Yeah, you don't have to.
But it's like, there's just something about that fucking drive that is genuine and legitimate and a little bit insane. But if you want to be that successful, you got to be a little off.
Oh, without a doubt, you got to be off. I just love the idea of breaking a cycle, and one thing in order to break it is to acknowledge it. And I think that Kanye acknowledged it in a horrible way. Like, he just communicated it fucking horribly. But there was some truth in the idea of, hey, fuck it, let's go. On a past podcast I was talking about, but I read a great metaphor about the experience of like uplifting of people. And it was like, and I've said it here on this podcast, but it's, you get in a horrible car accident, somebody hits you and they paralyze you, right? And you're going to have to go through like, years of physical therapy in order to walk again. That person has to pay for all your physical therapy and your hospital bills. But if you want to walk again, you got to go to physical therapy. Nobody's going to do that.
Nobody's going to do it but you. Yeah.
And once that snaps in, the fucking world's your oyster to a certain extent because you realize, oh shit, I'm empowered enough to do whatever the fuck I want. I'm out. Nobody's fucking. Nobody's gonna. They're gonna try to hold me back. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
It's like
I'm loose.
You could acknowledge your prior.
You said way more than Kanye did, so I don't want to give him that much.
I'm way more eloquent. I'm way smarter. Only thing he does better is make music. That's it. Like, I even dress better. Fuck it. You know what I mean?
We don't even know if he writes. He don't write that shit. But
he might not write
make
it.
some hot beats though.
You really fuck Manny?
It always. I think we should. Should we just have the show?
No, we got too much more juice.
I just like really need to know. Like, I can't believe, and you just like
Alex,
laugh
you gotta.
about it.
We'll talk after the show.
Talk to me, bro.
Are you when could this have happened?
We'll talk after the show. That is pretty funny though.
I just feel
you letting them bait you. Come on, Weezy.
Huh?
Chill.
Yo, so
chill.
Couple things. One thing happened to me this week. I've been burping. But I went on my, I have a cousin who does a podcast. It's got some visual. His name is Bill Schulz. Does it with Joanne Osachinsky. And there was a trans chick on the podcast. And we were talking about old tweets. Ooh. Right? And I posted this on Instagram, but we were talking about...
That's where I came from? I was wondering where...
Yeah. And we were talking about old tweets, right? And they were talking about people, tearing you down for the old things that you said. We see it all the time. This big trend right now. They're looking up shit from 10 years ago, and they're trying to take you down. They're looking up shit from when you're 16 years old, what you said, and they're like, oh, you piece of shit. And I looked at the trans woman, and I was like, why are you guys the only ones that get to change? You know what I mean? Like, you know, because people, and then, you know, she said this, dog. She goes to me, she goes, I'm not going to lie to you. When I was a dude, I probably said some fucked up shit about women. I was like, women are stupid, women are annoying. And I was like, maybe that was intuition. You know what I mean? But she admitted that when she was a dude, she probably said some dumb shit about women because
I could say the same. So like, you know, I'm a very independent and self-made woman now, but at one point in my life, I had a man taking care of me. I was very young, total brainwashing thing that I was tweeting things like, we should listen to our man, ladies. We should do this, blah, 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 blah.
We got to dig up those tweets
out. Yeah, you better.
I delete that shit, bro.
Oh, you
good.
But, you know, it was like, I was young and dumb, and I'm so embarrassed. Like, what if those things really did resurface?
I said some other word.
I had no idea. Like, this man completely made me think that I had to listen to him just because he took care of me.
Right.
Which is absolutely wrong, right? I mean, you can have money and still, like,
have decency and respect and have an opinion.
I mean, he was awful to me, and, you know, it took me to really get out there and have to fall on my face. I mean, when we broke up, he was like, you can leave with what you came with. And it was not the Louboutins. It was not those things. I was 20 when I left him. And, you know, I had to fucking work from the ground up. He was paying for my college.
Whoa.
I had to literally stop going to school because my parents couldn't afford it. I had to work my fucking way up to the corporate ladder. Like, it took time.
But you were a product of your environment, right? Like, you thought that was okay.
My mother was a housewife. And so I assumed that this is just what I was supposed to do.
Women used to aspire for that.
Yeah.
It's like you get married, you would marry a rich, successful man, you raise his kids.
I really believed it. And so that's what's funny now about talking about men and the money thing, right? It's like, we'll joke about it on our podcast all the time. Oh, you got to be with a man with money, blah, 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 blah. But it feels so good when I can afford my own shit. I love when a man
Weezy's rich, y'all.
And
she makes more money than all of us.
No,
by far.
Yeah.
But
she can't go to Burning Man.
You know what I'm saying?
She can't go to Burning Man.
I just got that new job, dude. He was like, fuck no, bitch.
Oh, it's
I did what you said. I used my tits.
I didn't say that.
What'd
I say?
I think Alex said
not to
that.
get the job.
Nope.
Oh, no, to get the time off.
I have a new job, but I've been there for a few months. I mean, I've been.
I said to get the time off. Yeah. Yeah, work. Yeah, use it.
So,
your mama
you
gave
know,
you.
I went in and I just kind of, boosted him up.
Get it. Hey, got him out.
You know, I was like,
Nice
listen,
breast.
I know I am.
Alex fucked up.
I missed the close up just now.
You picked the wrong one, bro. You
Yeah.
should have been patient.
Yo,
And
so
you
listen,
should have dressed up
but-
for the movie.
But check it, you. Should have dressed up to go to the movie,
He
man.
was in gym clothes, yo.
Oh,
He was out there
we
like
went to see a movie last night. That's why I was like, I was looking at you.
No. Oh, y'all went to see a movie last night.
What he wear?
Damn.
Not
Shitty
that
girl.
jewelry.
Well, that's-
Or however DJ Khaled say it, jewelry.
Jewelry.
So all I'm saying is,
Jewelry.
when you're young, you're a product of what's around you, right?
Yeah.
So that trans woman, when she was young, she was hearing a bunch of other dudes saying women are annoying, women
It
are
takes
this, that,
time
that,
to
the other.
develop your own thoughts. You
Exact-
gotta go through a little bit to develop your own.
So we're
way of
going back
thinking.
to times where motherfuckers truly weren't acting as self, right?
Yeah.
You know how long I'm 34. I'm just finding out who I really am and being able to comfortable be myself.
Yeah.
When we're young, we're trying to say shit to fit in.
Yeah.
That's literally
Not even
what
say
we're
shit to
doing.
fit in. That's like,
what I was doing.
maybe
I don't
some
know
of
if
us-
it's fit in, but you're just kind of saying what you think.
Yeah, you're just saying shit. You're just figuring it out as you go.
Shit, I'll be honest with you. I just got comfortable, like, being able to, like, say I'm promiscuous. Like, one of our first episodes, Mandy was like, yeah, you know, you're promiscuous. I was like, no, I'm
Whoa,
not.
bitch, chill.
I have sex with people I care about. Even in threesomes. You know, but, I mean, I just really didn't know. And now, you know, I have to own that shit. Dude, the last episode we did, I talked about eating a cream pie out of someone.
Oh, God.
I have to live with that on iTunes.
Wait,
and
okay, so
YouTube.
somebody came in a girl and then you ate it out of her.
Yeah, like porn.
That shit gross.
Why is it gross when... Hold up.
Yo, girls always do this
Everybody
shit.
thought it was so gross, but let me explain my thought process on this.
Yeah, please.
I was eating her pussy.
Mm-hmm.
What if I took the nut in my mouth? That's not nasty. So I just skipped a step.
No, cum is gross. Like, it don't matter where you get it from. Yeah, like
it doesn't matter where
you can get it from the tap.
Like, oh, yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's good.
Like, listen, if you pour the Guinness right into the cup, you know what I mean? Or if I pour you a little out of mine, it's still Guinness.
It's crazy
You know
how
what I
we,
mean?
like, how we,
Yeah.
like, skip around everything on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they both looked at me like I was trash. I'm like, I mean, I asked for it. I really was like,
Come in her.
Yeah.
You said come in her? How'd you say it?
I think we talked about it before. We did it. So I was dating 2 people at the same time, a guy and a girl, and we were having a lot of threesomes, and there was shit we were always doing. Threesomes are exhausting.
I can't even fix my face right for this. This is gross. Look at my face, Alex.
Yeah, but now that I think about it, it's really the same shit. Especially if she's bisexual.
Yeah.
But like she's already eating the pussy.
Like girls should swallow.
Yeah.
I prefer when they swallow.
Yeah.
But after they do it, I'm like, that was disgusting.
Oh yeah.
Why would you do that?
Nah.
But then
there's always a little party in the back.
Yeah.
Like, she gonna do it. Ah, she did it.
I just thought it was really
right?
fucking hot.
It's like you never ate like too much dessert, and you're like, why'd I do that?
So wait, is it nasty
That's how I
when,
feel
like,
about
girls
you guys.
and porn, like, come off each other's tits to you? Then?
Nah, once the dude
So what
busts,
is it
I'm
about
out.
in the pussy that's like crazy?
Nah, when a guy busts,
Wait,
I'm
you
done
don't
with
watch,
the porn.
You don't like the cum shot?
No, I like to see it finish, but I don't need the credits. You know what I mean? You never finding out who the fucking director of photography
all
is.
that
like
extra shit of like.
I've never seen the end of a porn in my life.
Yeah, once he busts, we out.
Once it's done, I feel terrible with myself.
That
Like,
bullshit don't keep you to the end of the porn? That bullshit
Nah.
dude to keep you to the next fucking play?
We just we time it out so we bust at the same time.
Well,
Hold on. Alex out here busting with guys.
Yo, no.
Nah, man, you busting with dudes. Yo, nah.
You don't
Y'all
tell me.
are not about to start this.
I'm being honest with you.
Defend him.
No, I'm being honest with you, Alex. Real talk. I don't bust with the dude, bro. What I do is I bust and then I watch to make sure he got his. Because it would hurt me if he didn't.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean?
I like
all the
slow
feelings
up,
for a dude, that's
speed up,
not
like
low
try
bar.
to time it so it's like
So
when
y'all
he's
can
about
come together?
That's POV.
Yay.
Hold on, you sitting around waiting.
I need to make sure my man got it all.
Not like I was
Exactly.
waiting.
Yeah, I need to make sure my man good. I'm just like, yo, you good,
No,
Rick?
no.
Rick,
Wait a
you
minute,
good?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
What's more gay?
Yeah. I'll tell you what's more gay. Me.
Exactly.
Fast forward.
So, okay, the reason the cream pie happened is because...
White boy fun. White boy fun.
Yo, that fast forward shit is hilarious.
Yo, do you know what fast forward is?
Black people are not ready for that.
Yo, well, you know, pause.
When you say
Yeah.
So
they're not
pause
ready.
is if you say something gay.
Right.
So fast forward, it's like, hell yeah.
say something gay.
That shit is gay. Let's go.
So you better rewind with that fucking Mandy shit.
Yo, I love how she's legitimately upset at you.
Yeah, she's jealous.
Oh, let me tell you something.
competitive.
Women are like.
I have a shirt that says Black, Educated, and Petty, and I really reside on the last word. Something that I constantly do. Like, you should see me in the office. Somebody forgets something, I'd be like, oh, you can do that, Carol? Because you didn't know last month.
Really? I was a funny post you had with like you were doing a selfie and someone walked by and said hello. And she went supreme bitch. Dude, she literally just looks up at the person, smiles, and then like doesn't even move her head, just rolls her eyes back like, how dare this bitch interrupt me procrastinating.
Let me tell you, I'm a young girl at the office, and they know what I do. I wear cute shit, and I be having lipstick on, and they know I be taking selfies. Don't look at me like that. And I got the phone out, you know, they walking by, and I'm just like... You gonna play that game, huh? You know what I'm doing, bitch. Every time I unzip, you know.
Every time I
about to ask for another day off.
God damn.
Listen, my
I
boss
can't believe you're not going to Burning Man. You fucked up, yo.
Word.
I've
You
taken-
really fucked
Word.
up, man.
I've
Word.
taken
You
so
are
much time
fucked
off,
up,
honestly.
Weezy.
Yo.
Suck my
fucked
dick, you
up.
fucked up. What are you
Whoa.
talking about?
That's how great suck my dick is. Even girls use
Yes.
it.
Even girls.
You know what I mean?
amazing.
Alex, I
You'll
swear
never
to
see a
God.
guy say like, yo,
You know what would have
Eat my
happened?
pussy, son.
I would have got high as fuck and in my feelings, and I would have been like, Andrew, can you talk to me? What Alex been doing? We would have gotten in a fight.
No, he wouldn't.
Yes,
Stop
we
it.
would.
Stop
Yeah,
it.
we would've.
Stop it.
Because you've been lying this whole
Stop
time.
it.
Yeah, y'all would have
Stop
gotten in
it.
a fight for real.
This is like the Young and the Restless, bro.
Yo,
No,
for real,
stop
dude.
it. You letting them win. Stop it.
I'm letting who win?
Just stop.
It's not about winning
Just
or losing.
come
It's
to
about
Burning Man.
real
That's
talk.
it.
All I want you guys to do is find closure.
Facts.
Do you know what I mean? What happened to my
Facts.
phone? You stole my phone?
You guys need. Is Mandy?
Where's
Mandy
my
at?
phone?
Oh no, I got yours over here.
Let's try and call Mandy one more time. Let's try. And
Oh,
get
I've been
all out
texting
of
her.
this.
She's at work. She's at the office still.
Still?
What does she do at the office? Does she got to be at the office?
She works for a finance firm. You know they work like,
Oh, she working
crazy,
on
yeah.
it.
So you guys are like legit in this like making money world.
dude, we are just
Yeah.
corporate hoes. I mean, that's really what it is.
Nah, they are kind of dope.
Really?
Yeah.
Have either of you guys seen Book of Mormon?
No,
I
actually,
did.
I'm going in a few weeks.
Are you?
Yeah.
I did.
I saw it yesterday.
It's amazing.
It was
Really fun.
I'm a
I heard it
South
was
Park,
very
like,
raunchy.
stan, So like.
So this movie, this play is so interesting because we talk about how sensitive people are right now about jokes, right? About you can't have jokes about pedophilia, you can't have jokes about rape, you can't have jokes about any of these types of things, right? The same people that are saying we have to be sensitive to these issues, etc., are the same people that are like, Trey Parker and Matt Stone are geniuses, and they've created a transcendent work of art. Yeah. Do you know what's in this? One of the first scenes when they get to Africa, right? Because it's about these 2 Mormon guys that get stationed in Uganda, right? To do their mission.
Where do they get stationed?
Uganda, bro.
Let
me say, where we
How
at?
do you say?
Where we at?
Hold on.
Where we at?
Ship. Royal what? What do you call it?
Royal Caribbean.
Oh, okay. You don't say Caribbean.
I'm not a pirate. Yo,
Uganda, though, buddy.
Yes, homo. Fast forward. Okay. Okay, so they're in Uganda. Sorry, guys.
Gotta play the vowel rules.
If you don't say Wakanda, you can't say Uganda.
Say whatever the fuck. Come on. Don't matter.
Wakanda.
Listen. So they're in there, and one of the first scenes is a joke about child rape. They're making a joke, and I'm not giving anything away, about a guy who's trying to get rid of his AIDS by raping kids because somebody had a rumor going around that if you rape if you have sex with a virgin, then you'll get rid of your AIDS, and there were no more virgins because they raped them all, so they were going to rape kids. This is a joke that is getting laughing? Applause breaks in the crowd. I'm dying. Everybody's dying. And they had jokes about, obviously, AIDS, killing people. I mean, tons of jokes about Africans and stereotypes about Africans, homosexuality. They're making fun of God. They're making fun of, I mean, one of the most...
Well, Trey Parker
that's not bad.
That's what...
Guys, I'm not knocking it at all. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, in this climate, it doesn't get touched. And I'll get to... There's even a thing about prophets. This is really interesting. Yeah. So one of the part of it is there's this goofball idiot character, and he's the one that ends up kind of saving the day, and he never read the Mormon book that he's trying to preach. So what he does is, to get all these Africans to convert, he just starts making up stories. Okay. Right? And what they set earlier on in the tone of the show is that he's a really insecure person, he's lonely and has no friends, and that he lies so that people like him. And he ends up telling these stories to all these Africans that need him, but these Africans that are like willing to join the church now because these, crazy weird stories he's saying. And basically what they're saying is that prophets of God were insecure, lonely, and willing to lie to people so that they would follow them. It's a massive... Yeah. Now, the thing is hilarious, but it is a massively offensive thing to say, especially in today's culture. But because these two guys...
Now, what's more offensive, do you think, in today's culture? They've made... Questioning God and the prophets?
Yep.
Or the child rape joke? Because I think
depends who.
See, I think a joke about God right now is not a big fucking deal.
It really isn't.
Who is that religious
we in New
anymore?
York,
everybody has
we in New York. You go to Utah.
Dude, we literally want to fuck women.
Every
guy that looks like Jesus right now. Long hair and a beard, I'm with it.
Yeah, that's true. We do want to fuck Jesus.
Some people don't believe in God. Everyone has children. You can't fuck around.
I'm not saying which is worse. All I'm saying is, like, here are all these things we're supposed to not talk about, but these people get 8. They won 8 Tonys. They've been celebrated by these people that are the most sensitive. And I think it just goes to show you there is no such thing as a joke, right? And I will say this. The piece is really interesting. Because what ends up happening is you think that they're going to go down this road like, oh, these dumb Africans are listening to these stupid stories and believing it. But it actually switches at the end because the Africans are like, guys, the stories are metaphors.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, yeah, they're metaphors by how to live. You actually thought this was real?
Yeah.
Like, so the African characters play a joke on the audience. Oh, you really thought that we believe that?
Yeah.
No, we understand that these stories are good. And it actually,
that's how every South Park episode ends. It's always some wildly offensive shit, and at the end it's like, oh, I learned something today.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, damn. Like, and that's why I love, like, that's by far my favorite show.
I saw that a couple of years ago,
yeah,
and I was just fascinated by how people were cackling in there.
Yeah.
At such offensive jokes.
Yeah. And it just goes to show you, because we talk about all these things like, oh, certain things shouldn't be joked about. Certain topics should be left alone.
I don't know, comedians
you have to. Let me tell you, as a comedian, I hear this from people all the time, and it just goes to show you that there are 2 things that dictate what you can say. 1, if the right people like you, If the right people like you, oh, he's a comedian, let him go. And 2, if it's genuinely funny.
If it's funny, if it's
See,
same
Andrew,
thing with music.
you know that.
If it slaps.
If it's funny.
I have never heard
it's
you say
fine.
anything, at least in comedy, maybe on your podcast. I mean, I have never watched any of your stand-up, and you've said something that crazy.
You have watched my stand-up, but you've never been offended. It sounds like you've never seen my stand-up. You said I've never watched your stand-up.
Never watched your stand-up and seen something that crazy.
Been offended.
Offensive.
Yeah.
Offensive, yeah.
I'm really good.
It's because you're white.
I'm just really good at what I do.
You're a dope.
It's because you're white,
Shit.
Andrew.
But
And I am not trying to toot the white man horn right now. But
trust
you
me,
are-
it's
you are
hard to
dope.
say shit as a white guy these days.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Trust
saying.
me.
I will tell you, I feel your pain. I will watch
That's why people are
Netflix
very
specials
easy
that
to
sucks.
yeah.
Every fucking comedy special I'm watching, I'm just like, bruh.
Andrew's funnier
It
than all
shocks
these
me.
motherfuckers.
It blows my shit.
We're going to do some things. But there is something about stand-up, which is if you do it, and even to the South Park guys' credit, which is if you do something at an elite level and you figure out how to get even a child rape joke out there, or these types of things you would never imagine could be funny. But if the intent is humor, it doesn't matter what some people interpret it as, because we go, oh, but they don't get the joke. This is just a joke. This is a satire on what's going on in the world. It's not exactly. And that's why, for me at least, there's nothing more important than intent. Intent over interpretation. My job as a comedian, I'm intending to make you laugh. You know what I mean? Your job as a fucking writer, your job as a journalist, you're intending to entertain with what you're putting down on a piece of paper. Same thing. Your job as a podcaster, you're intending to entertain. You're not intending to hurt any girls. You're intending for any girl to
I've said some shit that's fucked him up. I mean, most recently, I talked about a fantasy that I had about non-consensual, consensual sex.
Oh, we talked about that before.
And
that's how motherfucker.
these
Once a girl
women
says that to me, I'm out.
came
Nope.
for
I'm
me.
good.
So, like, I wanted to give the guy I was seeing a key to my apartment, and I told him I want you to come over one day this week. Don't tell me what day, and I want you to fuck the shit out of me. Whether I don't care if I'm sleeping, I don't care what's going on. I want you to fuck me. So this could also be called a quote unquote rape fantasy, which I understand is triggering, but I was giving consent beforehand. These women came for my neck, and I was like, dude, listen. If I'm saying that I'm consenting to this, where's the problem? I do some crazy shit, bro. Leashes, collars, fucking getting the spit on. Like, that's completely demeaning sex.
Yeah.
But if I'm asking for these things or I'm consenting to these things, why am I wrong for saying that I want them?
Can I tell you?
Tell me.
Because this is something I've learned from doing comedy and making jokes out of really tough to joke about topics. It's all how you introduce it. When you start it with non-consensual, consensual sex, the word non-consensual is in there, and now they're triggered by that because they went through some traumatic shit, right? So the second they hear non-consensual, they shut the fuck off.
Yo, that
And
delivery is everything.
A lot of delivery and stand-up, I'll tell this to young comics, like they'll have a really funny concept. They're like, yeah, why is the crowd turning off? And I'm like, because you turn them off before you even got to the funny. If you started with, you know, a passion of mine, I just want to give a guy that I really like and I'm having sex with my keys, and I just want you to come over one of these days, and I don't even care. Just wake me up and have sex with me.
Right.
If you say it like that, they're not going to be triggered by
But this
rape.
is the thing, though,
But
Andrew. My
you are-
job is to
you
interview
want them to
people
think
about their
rape.
kinks and talk about real kinks.
Yeah.
And that was my kink of the quote-unquote week. Like,
How is what I said different than what you said? I just made it a way that wasn't as triggering. I made it more palatable. You want them to think rape. That's why you say
I don't want
non-consensual.
them to think that.
Why say
Yes, you do.
non-consensual?
Yes, you do.
why do I want them to think that, Alex?
Why say
Because-
non-consensual?
Why are you even talking to me?
That's the kick.
As you were saying.
That's the king.
My point is, he's right. It
So,
has to do with
be
it.
fair, what he's saying, I start off, like, we have a segment where we say kink of the week, and that is the kink. So I say it first. Right. Then I describe the story. And I don't mean for things to be triggering. You know, we had a chick on there who was talking about how she had a dom and he was making some girl get fucked with a wine bottle, anally, eat and throw up, all kinds of crazy
Which
punishment.
side first?
I was hoping the pointy end. Actually, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But, I mean, talking about crazy shit. And
Yeah.
I want people to understand, like, we're only doing this so that you can hear about it, that you can learn about it. The shit exists.
Right.
Like, some women think that me wanting to get slapped is vanilla shit. Like, oh, that's nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's to someone that is.
Right.
Like, I just,
Slapped in your face?
I like getting slapped in the face.
Like, What?
Yeah, nah.
I love cat. Like I like
Yeah.
So
It's like don't slap the shit out of him, but
Yeah.
you know,
Like
just
for example,
enough for it
just
to
like,
make a sound.
yo, you know what?
wait, what?
Enough for it to make a sound.
Wait, give me an example.
Like
No,
a golf
not
clap?
like a golf clap.
Golf clap
Like
or
a
like
golf
the
clap.
Knicks won a championship.
Oh gosh.
Shit.
No.
Yeah, she wouldn't get
I
up.
don't want.
Next one a championship, I'm like, let's go. It's like if Tiger Woods hit a birdie. It's like, oh.
Don't clap my face off. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like just a little, like a dick slap weight, like a heavy dick slap. Like give me that weight.
But dick slap is not bad. Dick
It's
slap.
not. But I want that same weight.
You want dick slap.
Now
weight.
some girls
Yeah.
like they do want it even harder. Like slap the shit out of them.
Girls have asked me to do that, and I've never felt comfortable doing that.
Not my thing.
Aren't you
Never been my
sweet?
thing.
Well, I mean the men I'm asking these things for are generally like doms. I don't.
Yeah. I'll do a little choke here and there, but that's it. That's as far as
Oh
I go.
yeah, but you got to do that like.
You got a big ass.
I have big hands.
You gotta do
you got a big
yeah,
dick.
girl. Yo, she looked at Alex to see if he was jelly. Yo, you really? Yo, you really? I got your back. Yeah.
No,
Divide and conquer, bro.
Yo,
Divide
Weezy,
and
you ain't gonna
conquer,
come in
bro.
here and do
This
that.
bond too
You ain't gonna
tight.
come in here and
This
do
that
that,
horrible
yo.
decision.
That's
This
right.
bond too tight.
We here, bro. We don't
Yeah,
play
I
games.
got you, bro. I ain't even fall for your fucking tricks, lady.
Yo, I got a theory about girls that want all that like the crazy physical shit.
I think you said it on your show when I was on.
Did I?
But what?
It's like they don't respect their man. They don't think their man could actually do anything to him. So they're like, "Hey, can you just please choke me because I don't think that you could do it."
I'll
Like
tell you where it
if a
comes
guy just chokes out of whatever, that's fine. But when a girl's like, "Please, I need you to choke," I think on some shows she's like, "Man, I think I could take him."
I know where it comes from.
Right? I think on some, like if you're asking your man to choke you and do all this wild shit, you don't respect his strength.
First of all, the choking is asphyxiation, right? You're getting your breath cut off. You get a little lightheaded and it feels more intense. But I am always on every day. Like I am in tech sales. I gotta be on facing with clients on my podcast. I'm extroverted. I'm always up.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like to just feel it the other way around. I like to be a completely different person, like during sex, which means being dominated. I mean, I'm the dominating person at work. I am overpowering the conversations. I am doing all of that shit. So once I'm naked and all of that guard is down, it's nice to flip it the other way. This is why people say that cops have that complex where they're like getting the shit beat out of them and stuff like that. It's just the person that's normally in control getting controlled. Like, it's an amazing feeling for me.
Whoa. Wait, so cops like getting beat up?
Oh, like, so I will tell you this from escorts that I've interviewed.
Wait. So you're
Men
saying
in power, generally.
But cops, because they're out there, potentially cops are beating up black people.
Andrew, now you doing come on.
I'm just saying that means there's some female.
I'm not touching that one.
That means there's some female dominatrix that are making money off of cops beating up black people, right? Technically speaking.
Cops are just overzealous, is what I will say. And so with that,
I'm wrong or right with what I just said?
I'm not touching any of that shit, bro. I don't
wrong.
know.
Listen,
That's what
Can we
you were
end the
talking
show,
about.
goddammit?
Yeah,
Shit.
God.
God damn.
What, you got a job or something? I ain't got that. Y'all gotta wake up in the morning?
I mean, look at, even if we think about the Donald Trump and the Stormy thing, whether it's true or not, getting spanked.
Yeah.
A man in power wanting to bend over, like that shit is, dude, any dude I pegged.
Pegged? That's what
Bro,
it's
that
called?
shit
Come on,
is
you know
so
about this shit.
odd.
It's like a whole
Any dude
world.
I've pegged two
still
men.
don't understand
One
that.
was,
Nah, son.
and the other one.
Peg.
Mandy stories.
How am I taking Mandy's story? You want to see him?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Will you bleep this out?
Hold on.
No,
Yeah.
I'll tell you who it was.
Yeah, but we're not gonna bleep it, but tell us.
Yeah,
Nah.
we don't bleep here.
No, we're not
Nah,
gonna bleep
nah.
it. Hold on. Yo, hold on.
I will tell y'all.
All right, get in the phone. Go. Get in the phone. All right, go. Tell us. Why he agreed to it?
What?
He agreed to it. Why you worried?
No, I'm not telling that fucking story. What are you about to Google?
No, just type. That's fine. That's it. And here.
So right now,
we
so
go.
right now, Weezy is texting on her phone right now,
Yeah, we can't say that on the show.
No, you can't. You can't.
and Kaz
But
and
he was on
Andrew
his back.
have read who she's talking about.
Hold on, what?
No, I was just
Oh, you're
giving
describing
the
what happened?
listeners,
Yeah, so she texted what happened. She said it. You really don't think we could say?
No, I'm telling you. No.
All right, I
please,
respect
please.
you. I'm not gonna say.
I don't want to put that out there like that, especially if he's not. The other guy, though.
How much could he take?
Um,
He probably got a long butthole.
I wasn't ready to peg him.
Fast forward.
But this is how it happened. I had a dildo that I was fucking myself with while I was going down on him, or he was using.
Yeah.
And
He was like, stop bogarting.
pretty much. He was like,
Yo, he said, pass the blunt.
Hit me, I'm open. Alright, that's it. I'm not saying that.
Yo, Kaz.
no,
Kaz the God,
this
son.
was before I was what you would call
Right
a
now,
Pegasus.
every
I wasn't
Flagrant 2
experienced with
fan
it.
right now is looking up every.
She didn't even. That's even too much.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
No, but this was before like I was like, ready to peg. Like after that I bought a strap on. I was like, I'm ready. No, he was like, that looks really skinny. Like I bet you could fit that in your ass. And then next thing you know, he laid on his back and he was like doing the ass lift and like
What? Son,
where the booty up, and then boom, I put it in there and like I fucked him with it and it was great. And then the next guy was
it slid in?
It took time, but like he was into it. I was spitting on it and shit. I had to get his ass warmed up. But I'm gonna tell you
Wait,
what,
you spit
it wasn't
on
his
it?
motherfucking first time though.
Not lube?
Huh?
Not lube? You spit on it?
We weren't ready for that. I was in a hotel room.
Okay, so hold up. So you spit on. Okay, and then you said it wasn't his first time.
I don't think it was his first time.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Now it was a very like.
Yo, did he moan when it was inside?
he made it grunt.
He grunted. Golly! Yo,
It wasn't like a bitchy moan. Where
fellas,
you say, listen,
if you do that, you gotta do that stone face. You gotta do that like Mel Gibson in Braveheart when they're cutting him up and stretching him. You know how he just stays there thugging it and then don't even make a sound and then just go freedom.
Look, anal penetration by a woman is not a gay thing, right? Y'all take tongues. What's a finger? What's a dildo?
Come on, yo.
But no, the next dude. Then I had a strap on ready, and actually I was fucking my ex-girlfriend who you was trying to get at with that strap on, and then once we broke up, I was like, I guess I could use this in someone's booty.
Wait,
hole.
first of all, not trying to get at that Alex got at.
He got that.
So this is not
Damn.
What do you mean he got at? You
Alex,
said
you a
y'all didn't have
sniper,
sex.
bro.
Nah, you hit that. Al, you hit that.
So, continue on with the story.
Yo, first of all, Alex.
Excuse me?
Alex fucks all your girls, yo. No matter who you with, Alex fucking.
We're not
You know
doing
what I
that.
mean?
We're not doing that. Come
Nah,
on, we got off
nah.
that.
Your
We got off
co-host,
that.
your co-host, your old girlfriend,
A co-worker.
your co-worker, anything co.
Nigga, why you giggling over there?
Now we supposed to hang out tomorrow.
Who was we?
Your co-worker.
Carolyn or Carol.
The dude that
Not
wants
a
to get the video
Spanish one.
done?
The Spanish one.
Whatever, bro. I'm so...
She's alright too.
Anyway.
Yo, Kaz got both his phones
I had
out.
this strap on
I gotta
initially
dip.
for a
Kaz
little
out.
bit.
Kaz out. Kaz out. Son.
Kaz got an appointment right
pegging
now.
agent
Where
comes
you
in.
going? Where you going, Kaz? Where you going?
Kaz going for the pegging.
Work in the morning.
Yo.
Thin one.
Yeah, relax.
Peace.
Yo, you got a fat ass, Kaz.
That's right, we got leverage. Be good, Kaz.
My God, man.
Peace.
This out tomorrow?
Yeah, no, yes.
Yeah.
What were you saying? We're talking about Alex taking you down, taking all your shorties.
Nah,
So
we're not gonna
initially,
talk
the
about
strap on that I had was for a
Yeah,
woman,
that was
right? So it was shaped like a dick, which is
No,
normally...
we were talking about Alex taking
No,
down
we
your
were talking about the
shorties.
strap on, nigga.
Son, stop acting, bro.
Here we go.
I'm honestly
No.
so tired of this shit.
Why?
Usually, like,
I'ma
I've
have to
already
repair
had a little-
this
I was
after.
very upset about it.
I'm gonna have to repair this
Not
after.
the manly thing. You are going to have to repair this shit after.
I know.
Why does he got to repair? Because you beat it up? Is that why you got to repair it? Because those cheeks were getting fucking crushed. Yo,
Flagrant 2, Weezy, just remember.
undo your arms,
I don't
yo.
give a fuck what the name of it is. You the problem. Why you saying flagrant 2? Nigga, you the flagrant one. Why are we talking about
Oh,
this
you're about to
show?
go in. Oh, no.
Wait. Stop yelling.
Oh, you're on flagrant 2. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? He not the one. You the problem.
Yo.
You the problem. Should I blame TMZ for putting Kanye on there? No.
Yo, you know what?
Yo, Weezy, I
think
you.
Weezy makes a good point, Alex.
Yep.
Nah,
she does.
You do have
You
a
think
good
I
point.
want to side with Andrew?
She don't want to
she
side
does.
with me, but
Nah.
she got to side with me in this situation. Listen,
And I
what
side
I
with
told
both
Alex
of
was
you.
this, because Alex has said to me early on, he was like, yo, should I fuck all the women in Weezy's life? And I was like, what you mean all? He's like, every one. Like, even if they live in Florida.
I got to do something to hurt you, bro. I got to do something to really fuck your head up. It's got to either be your ex-girlfriend or your sister. It's got to be one of them.
You know what you got to do if you really want to hurt Alex? You know what you got to do?
Tell me. I'm ready.
Take one of them caucus bitches from him. Yo. Take a caucus bitch. You gotta take a caucus bitch from him. You know how he feel about his caucuses.
Honestly, Alex would hit me with a long fucking text. You know what? I feel used. You came over me to eat gumbo at my house and then go.
Wait a minute.
Weezy, you know too much.
Yo,
What do you
hold
mean
on.
I know too much,
I need
nigga?
to know
you
one
fucking
thing.
too much. Am I like?
I need to know one thing though. Alex, you made the gumbo or you made the gumbo?
Weezy made the gumbo.
I made the gumbo.
You can make gumbo?
Yo. Oh, amazing.
Thank you.
Hold on. So you gonna tell me this girl's gonna bring you into her home,
damn.
cook you some gumbo,
Here it comes.
and then you gonna go out there and just ravage. Just
Yo, we had 2 hours.
Alex.
My nigga. So,
Alex.
We had 2 hours.
Alex.
It's time to go.
Alex.
I'm tired of this nigga.
You shut up.
You know, see, Andrew, know I'm used to that shit. That was non-consensual. Now you better ask me to talk to me like that.
Listen, all I'm saying is, Alex, you got to treat Weezy a little bit better. I mean, first of all, you understand Flagrant 2, the way we treat black women on this podcast is like princesses.
Queens.
Like queens.
Mm.
The queens that they are. So
she runs my life.
honestly, as a favor to me, Alex, would you do a favor to me and just stop fucking all her girls?
Just some?
Just some.
Okay.
You know what I realized?
Are we
It's
on,
like
are
I'm
we
the
cool
gateway
now?
into you fucking black girls. That's really what it is.
Weezy, chill.
Nah, it is.
Oh.
And you say,
Chill.
No. No.
Yo,
No.
You want me to tell you why he didn't fuck you, dead ass? Say you weren't white enough. So, Alex was like, I was like, what's up with Weezy? And he was like, 50% is what's up. You got a 50,
know
I
what?
don't know.
The flat iron, you're right.
No.
The flat iron was kind of.
It was that lukewarm flat iron. I was like,
She had the flat iron at 68 degrees.
You know what's funny? The day that you first had my gumbo, you was like, yo, you must this for real. That's what happened. You like, this real black.
Yo, you had too much flavor in it. Anyway, Weezy, thank you for coming, man.
Thank you.
I love this conversation. What a great podcast we had today.
What are
Word,
we
we
talking
did.
about today? Booty hole.
Yo,
Nah,
I
we
had
talk
so
about
many
everything.
different things to talk. We talked about a few,
Highs-
but
highs
what a
and lows,
great,
everything.
I
We
mean,
went in.
just funny, thought-provoking. I think we even made some, I don't know, headway in the way we all thought about the world. What a great
Not headway
fucking
like into an
podcast.
asshole like I've done.
What?
Horrible.
I don't even want to know where that's going.
Horrible.
Anyway,
That's what it
listen
is.
to Whoreible Decisions podcast, man. It's a very funny podcast. And
Weezy, where can they find you?
Weezy, where can they find you? Thanks, Alex.
Got you.
Thanks, bro.
Oh, now you want to.
Well, we know where we could find your girls in fucking Queens with Alex. But you, where could they find you?
If you're looking for me, since, you know, I am out of a new friend, Weezywtf is my Instagram handle. If you want to listen to the show, Whoreible Decisions, spelled with a W, like whore. The Jewish part of me, whore. Yeah, enjoy our pod. Andrew's been on there. Wax has been on there. Kaz has been on there. Not Akaash yet. Kind of want to have Akaash and his girlfriend.
Akaash would be really interesting because, you know, he was a virgin until he got his girl.
What?
He saved
Yeah.
himself for his girl.
Yep. I was telling you, if you got him to open up, whew.
Yo, I'm telling you, Akaash is the man, dude. I keep telling people, this motherfucker is disciplined. That's why I fuck with him. This dude is disciplined.
I mean, I really enjoyed him. Like, I've only seen him at Gotham.
Yeah. Oh, he's great. He's hilarious.
But, I mean, I didn't know that he'd only save himself for his girl. Yeah, I mean, I'm interviewing a virgin soon. Like, I love finding people, and especially, like, and Akaash is hilarious. I love finding people that have something crazy to fucking tell.
He has a unique experience.
Yeah.
Like, imagine only fucking the girl that you're with.
I can't.
I know you can't.
And neither can Alex.
No, you definitely can't imagine that.
Why you said it like that?
Well, because that wouldn't be the only person she's fucking.
I'm so done with you, yo. You know, and to think I was bringing you in the origin. I was like, yo, we're going to go to Burning Man, and we're going to go in. Andrew's going to be my little alibi, and I'll be like, no, it's my man, don't touch me until I want to fuck somebody. I already had this in my head.
Yo, we would have had this would have been the RV.
Dude.
You're fucking up, dude.
You're fucking shit up,
So for everybody that doesn't know, Alex is coming to Burning Man this year, and we had an RV, and I got a 5-person RV, which is generous. It's probably fist 4 good. And we were looking for one more person. And Alex, to his credit, for a while, since I brought it up to him, he had been bringing Mandy. And I feel like, no, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. He's brought you up from the beginning, from the jump.
Buy the comedy album, because I'm tired of both these motherfuckers. I'm done. Click on it, rate and subscribe, but don't follow Alex, because he's a fucking Caucasoid loving hoe.
Caucasoid. Yo, no, but from the beginning, he said he's like, yo, Weezy should come. And I had asked 2 other people, and they were seeing if they could come. And I said, listen, I already extended this invitation to a couple of other folks.
Right.
If they can't, I think she would be a cool person to go.
It was so last minute. I made plans for Miami.
Shorty, it don't matter, okay? The point is, it don't
like
matter.
That.
It don't matter.
I like that.
It don't matter. This would have been, first of all, you already feel the dynamic is hot, right? You feel it. It's just fun. It's loose.
It is
you know what I
loose.
mean? Now we're going to involve maybe some narcotics, but, not that many. We're going to involve just a little bit.
Look, we got 1.5 white people in the crew. We are. And look at you.
I'm law enforcement. We're not doing any drugs.
All right, fair enough. We're not doing any drugs. So,
you think you fucking all these white girls? That's not a gateway in?
Yo, we gonna get to that. We gonna get to that.
I wasn't even gonna flame you like this. I was like, Mouse did it too hard, but I'm like, fuck it now.
No,
he was hard.
So, shouts to Mouse. So this really hurts me that we had this fun episode. We had these great convos, because that's what happens at Burning Man. It's not just like party. It's like sometimes you just have these cool moments with your friends where you just talking, hanging out, and enjoying this wild experience.
I know.
And here you are fucking it up for everybody.
You just wanted me to cook. That's really what you did. You wanted someone on the
ain't
grill.
nothing to cook.
Nah.
It's fuck. We're gonna have quesadillas with fucking cheese, like you make right on the thing. You're gonna eat shit for a week. You're gonna eat frozen burritos. It's not like salads and shit. Like this is tough. It's tough out there.
You know what was so crazy?
Your hair gonna look shit.
I really was. I was really having a hard time because I was thinking about it all night. I had everything ready. I was so excited after I got off the phone with you. And when I walked into work and I couldn't get them extra days off, I took off a few days for Labor Day. That was it. I was like, maybe that would have been the first STD. Maybe I would have gotten chlamydia that weekend. Maybe something, things happen for a reason. I don't know why God is keeping me out of Burning Man.
Get out of it.
God's not. You are.
You are.
God brought us here to invite you.
You got a new job and you want to plan fucking 5 vacations in your first year.
Cancel the vacation, B. Cancel the fucking LA one.
I can't.
Why not?
I'm going to a wedding.
Fast forward.
People meet each other at weddings.
Yo.
And I'm going.
Fast forward, bro.
Just LA all together.
I'm going to a poppin' wedding though. I might meet somebody.
Ain't no poppin' ass wedding. Weddings suck. This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna
cancel that wedding. And I've already made plans with Van. And he gonna introduce me to some hoes.
Shouts to Van. Now listen, I think what's smart for you to do is not go to that wedding. I think what's smart for you to do is you take your time and you use it for what's quite possibly the most unique experience that you'll ever have on planet Earth. And you want to go to a wedding where they tell you where you gotta be, where you gotta sit, what you gotta eat. Oh, salmon or steak.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? That's what you want. You want to go to camp? You're going to camp for 2 weeks. You're going to adult camp.
How is Burning Man now, Cam? You want me to shit in a hole and it's not camp?
No, you gotta shit at a porta potty.
Let me tell you, I've done festivals before, like camped out and shit, and I would eat so many protein bars and like fiber, so like I wouldn't shit. So I get to the airport after a fucking 5-day festival. And the airline, right? They're calling on the gate. And I'm like, yo.
It's going down.
I got a 3-hour flight home. I could either pay the $75 change fee or have a comfortable shit for the next hour and 15 minutes in the airport. And I damn sure paid that $75.
Wait, you don't shit on planes?
Dude, my first shit in 5 days, I looked pregnant. Andrew.
Fam, I shit on a plane once, and I'm not going to lie. Came out the toilet. Damn near came out.
Speaking of toilets, you seen the fetus stuck on the plane?
Stop talking about that. The girl had a fetus?
You didn't hear about what happened on the American Airlines plane?
No, I mean like with Alex here.
Damn. Damn.
Yo, I'm coasting, man. Look at life is good. We chilling out here. Look, we're gonna talk about the fetus and then we should wrap it up. We did a nice solid one.
12:10.
It's 12:10. We out of here. We love y'all. Thank y'all so much for listening. It's another episode of Flagrant 2, man. Thank you guys so much. Come fuck with us. Listen, we're doing it every Tuesday. And if there ain't a Brilliant Idiots, we're going to drop another one for y'all Thursday as well, because that's how we do. And we appreciate you greatly. I got some shows coming up, Alex. I'm going to be in Seattle the 16th. Ugh. I know. Actually, I fucks with Seattle a little bit, but it's sold out.
Are you doing Boston so much this weekend?
Yeah, but that's for something different.
Oh,
we're not talking about it. But yeah, I'm going to be in Seattle the 16th. That's sold out. If you can't come to the Seattle show and you were planning to, come up to Vancouver. I'll be there the 17th. We still got some tickets left for that show. Then I'm going to be in, I think it's East Rutherford or New Brunswick. I forget which one it is, but I'm going to be in New Brunswick, New Jersey.
They sound like they voted for Trump over there.
Maybe, I don't know. But I'm going to go to the comedy club, so make sure you guys come out to that. I got tickets at theandrewschulz.com, and then I got my Europe dates. First show in London sold out. Second show in London, I think we got like 30 tickets left or something. So get that real quick. That's the 11th and 12th of September. And then we got Antwerp, Amsterdam, Oslo, Copenhagen, Stockholm. Get that. And then more shows at theandrewschulz.com. Thank y'all so much for supporting, man. Al, anything else?
My people coming out to the London show.
Oh,
Bet
word?
they are.
Yeah.
Bet they are.
Alex going to come out.
Yeah.
Alex, you coming out,
yeah,
right?
I'm there.
Yeah, we're going to make it happen, man. So anyway,
Trash.
thank y'all so much for coming.
Weezy come too.
Weezy going to say she's going to come and then fucking...
Exactly.
First of all, Andrew, don't even start because I support everything you do.
Except Burning Man.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want me to do?
Go to Burning Man.
Yup.
Go to Burning Man. Don't fuck for the time off. Go to Burning Man. You're sick. You're sick.
Yep.
I'm sick. I can't come in.
Yep.
I'm sick of Alex's lies.
You also sick of the truth. All right, that's it. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Nigga, you fucking
No. Why you let them? Like, you're an idiot.